Hello everyone, and welcome to Living by the Law, the podcast discussing fictional worlds and how wondrous and ridiculous they are. My name is Matt, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jude and Guy. Living by the Law is not currently sponsored. If you wish to sponsor us, buy a skeleton from your local Halloween shop, cast it in iron, and surround it in a circle of salt. Chant your sponsorship offer to your ancestors. We will hear you. We always do. In the dead of night, long after the sun has fallen, haunting howls filled the streets of London. Ghosts have risen from the dead and decided others should join them. But who is to fight this horde of undead? Kids, of course. Join us as in this episode we meet Lockwood and Co as they fight to put the undead back where they belong. Warning, this episode contains spoilers for all 5 Lockwood and Co novels and the TV series. Enjoy.
My mum, for quite a few years, ran a childcare centre, and I learned a lot of things assisting her in running it, how to rock a baby properly. If they're in like a little pram, you should rock them over a bump, because that's actually how it works. How to entertain kids and just all that sort of stuff. So lots of like very functional utilitarian things that I'm very happy to have learnt. If there's one thing I learnt well and truly though, it's that you absolutely must consider every single way that your child's name can be said, can be acronymized, or can be taken to. I'm not going to give the exact spelling of this person's name, but we had a kid called Freya, with their last name being Not, which Freya Not it's a rope thing. Yeah. It's not necessarily the worst, but it's dumb. I saw Bark, I saw Twig, I saw Dash and Chase, who were brothers.
Okay, who was naming these? A fucking dog?
No, exactly. Like, if you think that sort of stuff, and like you have to say it out loud, say it to all your friends, and be like, 100% honest, I'm going to give you, like, do an anonymous survey with your friends and be like, here's the name. What feedback do you have for me? And if you get any of them that are like, that sounds like a dog, no,
actually, no, your friends are going to be too nice, too honest.
Anonymous survey, that's why.
Tell a group
posted on Reddit.
Tell a group of young kids. Young kids are very creative and very mean. Mm-hmm. Very creative, very mean. I've done anything from doing scouts and like looking after the cubs after being older. They are vicious, but they'll work shit out.
Oh, for sure.
So they'll find all the mean nicknames, they'll find all the shit, and you will refine down this name.
It's so interesting to me, and especially like there's also that terrible moment of like realizing something of like, oh, the last name's fucked. I can't do anything about that. Because my inspiration for this cold open is I have a tab open for Alan Tudyk, it's basic childhood playground insult.
Yeah.
But also it kind of makes him sound hung as fuck.
He probably is.
There's nothing to do with that. That's a last name. There's nothing you can do with
nothing you can do about that.
Marry favorably.
He could be Tim Tudyk. He could be Sam Tudyk. He's fucked.
Speaking of marrying favorably, you guys have heard my epic plan to fully optimize my name by marrying my current wife. Damn, that's such a weird... I call my girlfriend my wife. I say current...
I just want to say, he never calls her his wife. He calls her my wife.
Also, it's a funny current reference.
You dug yourself 2 holes there. 1, not your wife. 2, current?
Yeah, I know. No, I agree. As soon as I came out of my mouth, I realized I shot myself in the leg. But nonetheless, with taking her last name and by shortening my middle name, I can get my entire name down to 9 letters, which would be Guy Max Law. First of all, Max Law, amazing.
You do sound like you're the either main character or favorite sign character in like a what year? Maybe 80s cop show?
Yeah. I was going to say, if you do go through with this master plan, you have to stop working IT, stop everything to do with IT, and you need to work in some form of law.
Counterpoint, that's just literally in this second occurred to me. I should actually continue working in IT, but I should specialize in machine learning because then I can have my name on LinkedIn as Guy ML. We're optimizing for career retention, baby.
That's terrible.
I'm the ML guy.
That is terrible.
Let's fucking go.
Talking about optimizing names for careers, the name of the next series, and a great name entirely, is Lockwood and Co.
Ooh.
Which is the name of the book series, but also the name of the main character. One of them, so not the main character, but one of the main characters, whose name is Anthony Lockwood.
I see.
And Lockwood and Co. is the name of his agency, which we will come.
You're
come
telling
to.
me that this isn't Skullduggery Part 2?
No, this is not Skullduggery Part 2.
I literally listened to our Skullduggery episode in the car to get ready for it.
I apologize.
It's fine.
I'm just doing
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
That's going to take more time to write. I'm very sorry.
We make entertaining podcasts, though, so you had a good time listening to it for the fourth time, and plus the editing process, so maybe like cumulatively 6th or 7th time.
Yeah, we're funny.
I do sometimes just laugh at my own jokes, or I say the joke in my mind and then I say it in the podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm really good.
I'm so in sync with me.
Actually, because our podcasts like come up on my iTunes podcast library, it'll always like we'll be listening to, I don't know, whatever podcast I'm listening to. I won't name drop any here because they don't deserve any more free promotion.
They don't deserve any plugs
But
from
like,
us.
I'll finish that episode and it'll autoplay straight into ours, and then I hear the dee 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 dee, and I'm like, here we go. And then it's always the thing of how long is left of my drive. If it's anywhere under 20 minutes, I'll just listen to our episode.
That is
if
crazy.
It's more, I'll have to put something else on.
That is 20 minutes is crazy. I wouldn't be able to last 20 minutes.
You guys have seen me do some...
I know you can't.
Shut the fuck up. By the way,
damn it.
Okay, so Lockwood and Co. is an adult supernatural thriller series written by Jonathan Stroud between 2013 and 2017. It is set in England, where in about, we don't know exactly the year, the 1960s, ghosts started to appear and started to kill people. The only ones that could sense them and have a chance to fight back were children, of course.
Of course they were.
Yeah, best excuse in fiction.
50 years on, the country is built around what is deemed and called the problem, and how to live with it. So there's a series of 5 novels follow 3 young operatives of the called agents of the psychic detection agency known as Lockwood and Co. As they fight ghosts in London, England.
The problem and how to live with it sounds like an STI consultation.
It really is.
Sorry, continue.
Do you have an itch that won't go away? Do you have strange spots that won't disappear?
Do you have a cold? Do you ever feel your house is getting colder than usual? Do you hear echoing hauntings at night?
Is your cat dead? The problem and how to live with it. We're not getting rid of this thing. We just got to figure out how to live with it.
There is also a Netflix TV show based on the books that had 1 season that covers the first 2 books. Sadly, it was cancelled after 1 season.
Oh, yeah. I
it-
watched this.
Was it a good season? Or-
Yes.
Yeah, it banged.
Oh, really?
The
Wild.
season banged, and it was really accurate to the book because the author was involved. Like there was a couple changes.
It really confuses me how often Netflix cancels shows that were genuinely well received, but then they're still flogging like 4 to 5 seasons of shows that are not being well received.
Apparently, it didn't get enough audience retention. I mean, I watched it the other week because I didn't watch it when it came out. I heard about it when it came out. I didn't actually watch it, so maybe I'm the problem.
I saw it show up and then I saw it and I was like, oh, cool ghosts. And then I put it on the background, I think while I was in hospital, actually. So, yeah. Take that.
Yeah, as I said, it's changed a bit from the season. The series is set in 2013, basically when the books came out. It was set, so it's changed it to update to 2020. We're having still be 50 years back, so this technology is slightly more than they had in the series. As we'll go on, technology kind of stopped developing, so you kind of get that 60s or 70s vibe in the books or TV show. Adapting a little bit, mostly the same, and yeah, as I said, it's actually quite good. Before we get into the episode itself, you know what else is quite good? Our Patreon.
Wahoo!
Yes, it sure is.
Do you want to go on for that? Go. What can we get on Patreon, Jude?
Our Patreon, you can get video content of us. You can see us. You can see Guy's sexy mug and his titties. Sometimes they do appear in some videos.
Please stop highlighting that.
You can listen to our mini-sodes, otherwise known as our lore leaflets, where we don't actually talk about lore, we just talk about news, and sometimes lore, but usually just news.
Gaming and
It's nerd news about lore.
It's not about law.
It's not about law. Let's not dress it up. It's just a news broadcast.
Hey,
it's fun.
It was where we re-announced that Heihachi Mishima isn't dead for the 17th
That's law.
time.
That's
law.
true. That's true. I think there's been exactly 2 mentions of law in the law leaflet. Me going on a mini Kurdan the Shipwright rant and Guy talking about Heihachi coming back to life. And you can get access to our scripts, and you don't have to be a Patreon, but you can also join our Discord just anytime you want, and you can join us for a chat.
Yeah, come
we have prestige law keepers, high law keepers, and novice law keepers. And you keep the lights on, and we love you. And one day we'll marry a high law keeper, drawn out of a raffle.
No, we are not.
Perfect.
Shout out to Luke Newcomb, our high law keeper. Shout out to Josh from Maine and Shadow, our prestige law keepers. Shout out to Jacob from Norway, Mike Grain, Tiani Wilson, and Uranian Games, our novice law keepers. Thank you so much. You help us keep doing what we're doing. And again, as Jude said, all that you get. Again, you can also join our Discord. You do not have to be a law keeper. Join our Discord community where we talk about ideas, spoilers, and things that are coming out.
Did Leon get a mention?
Leon has jumped back down to the free tier.
Oh, true. Sorry.
Which, again, as we emphasize, this is for people who have the excess income to spare. We do not want you to risk your income for supporting this podcast.
But
we
Leon did
appreciate
support
it
us.
All the same. Yes, thank you
And
to
Leon chats with us
Monetary.
on the Discord.
Monetary law keeper does
And
chat to
chat with us on the Discord.
Yeah, get on.
We're on
Yeah.
there. We will respond to your shit posts.
We appreciate it. You can also follow us for TikToks, Instagrams, highlights on, again, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all there. Keep up with the podcast. Anyway, back to the law. Just wanted to mention it at the start. Usually do it at the end, but we want to fit it at the start sometime. Back to the problem.
Back to the problem.
Now, before we begin, I want to tell you a tale. A tale of one Marissa Fitz and her partner in binding ghosts, Tom Rotwell. Little would they know, they would start the dominoes that would change the world forever. I know I usually like to have questions and rants and interruptions during a lot of these parts. Feel free to react and make noises and say dumb things, but let's keep the questions to the end of this first explanation.
Sure.
Just because I want to get through it.
Whoa.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Cool. So let's tell a tale.
Woo.
Sometime in the early 60s, the exact date is unknown, people started to go missing. Eventually, they were all found dead, all in mysterious ways. With the wake of these mysterious deaths, reports of children seeing, hearing, and feeling ghosts arose. With hysteria rising, so did an unlikely hero, Marissa Fitz, and her friend, Tom Rotwell. In the town of Kent, England, together with her keen listening talent and his sight talent, they were able to successfully remove the first ghost using a shovel to fend the ghost off.
Sorry.
The exact date, the exact age is unknown, what they hydroed, but they believe they were under 10 when they were doing this. They eventually branded themselves official paranormal investigators and began to experiment and test their theories as the hauntings arose. Marissa started to write occult theories, which would go on to be the foundation of ghost fighting knowledge. It is unknown to the full extent to which they defined the ghost hunt, but even 50 years on, it is said they invented most of the methods to fight ghosts, including using a rapier, as Marissa was particularly skilled with one. 10 years after the first outbreaks, now in their teens, the pair would find themselves dealing with the Mud Lane Phantom and the Highway Terror, 2 cases that would finally put their name on the map. News of them would spread. As their fame rose, so did their skills. Even at an early age, they quickly became heroes. They were the first anyone had ever heard of fully explaining the problem and stopping them. Many adults at the time didn't still fully believe it, being something they couldn't see or sense, just people dying. This was the first time they had something to explain it and hope for the future. They began to be recognized in the general public as the true hope for the future, and the two kept investigating, defining methods and ghosts for the next 5 years. This includes defining the art of the rapier, the types of ghost, and even Marissa having a conversation with a ghost.
Ooh.
Something completely unknown other to her. That ghost would be deemed the first type 3.
Type 3?
Type 3.
Then suddenly, they split ways. It is unknown why, but by the time they would be exiting or having just exited their teens, and their talents would be fading. It is known they're at least under 25, but I believe they're probably around 20 at this point. Mm-hmm. Marissa, splitting off from Tom, established the first ghost fighting agency, with Tom following suit a few months after, creating the Fitz and the Rotwell agencies separate, respectively. Sorry, that's the word. The problem would continue to spread across England, with London being the epicenter, and the rest of the British Isles beginning to feel the pressure of the problem. With finally a way to fight back, many smaller agencies would pop up, and the government would form DPRAC, or the Department of the Psychical Research and Control, in order to monitor agencies and fight the problem. Technology also takes a hit, as many other areas are lost from people funding the ghost research instead. Basically, the economy started to crash, and people took their funding out of tech research and put it into ghost fighting.
That's kind of sick.
That's fair.
I mean, if ghosts started appearing, you probably would.
Yeah, exactly, right? This has left London stuck in the early 60s or 70s technology-wise,
Hell yeah.
with the only technology advancements being in ghost fighting.
Nice.
Seeing profit, businesses started to arise around the problem, with the Sunrise Corporation selling equipment to fight ghosts, and Fairfax Irons producing, iron, and boosting their production. Additionally, United Salt would start to boost their production of salt as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
As well as being the top agency, Fitz also provided the furnaces to incinerate these sources, which we'll learn will be how a ghost manifests. This pretty much it gets us to the start of the books. The exact year is unknown, but again, it says about the start of the book, so 2013 to 2017. But there were over 50 years from the start of the problem, with life in England having very much adjusted. Life is tough. No one really feels safe. The government has put a curfew set at night to make people stay inside. Children are forced or encouraged to take jobs at agencies to fight the problem, and it's often the best money a family will see. And life after that is still quite rough. People often have children just to be able to, 1, fight the problem, or 2, make money.
Good damn.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. So, before we get into the rest, questions.
So, like, rapiers...
My God, first of all...
So, I can fight a ghost with a rapier?
Yes, as we will talk about later, a rapier is one method of dispersing or keeping back a ghost, because especially a silver-tipped or
I was going to say,
iron
is it like
rapier.
silver? Or, okay.
Yes.
So does that mean that they were using a silver shovel?
Iron also works, so it could have been an iron shovel.
Okay.
Okay, I don't even know anything else about the setting. I get to fight ghosts with a rapier. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I get to fight ghosts with a shovel.
Cool,
I'm happy.
done. Next episode, let's go.
No.
I'm done. I got what I need to know. I can fight a ghost with a
I
rapier.
got 3
I'm
more,
done.
actually. The first ghost didn't put their name on their map? You're saying that they only got their name on the map, like, later? What the did people just not notice?
I mean, they said, we fear the ghost, and all the adults went, sure you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
How
because
can you
the
prove
adults don't have any way to verify it.
Exactly.
So if it's a significant haunting in, like, a big house, then, okay, that makes more sense.
It's big hauntings that set their name on the map.
Gotcha.
It's this big home that everyone knew about. Everyone knew there's a ghost down. There's a ghost down Mud Lane, because they started believing in ghosts now. Because when they started haunting, most people didn't even believe it.
Yeah, of course they
So
would.
it's people. It was only in Kent, and people were like, nah, fuck off. So
In fucking Kent?
In
no,
fucking Kent,
I don't
lad.
fucking think so.
you're talking now ghosts in Kent, people walking out of their graves? No. I imagine you heard that from someone and it was like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
So that's why only recently when they said, 1, people believed it, and 2, it's a big enough ghost, everyone they stopped it. No one's dying anymore. Good to go.
Third question.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get to it, but types?
Yes, so there are 3 types of ghosts.
We'll get to it?
Depending on the power level of the ghost. Yes.
Gotcha. Type 3, biggest or smallest?
Biggest.
Gotcha. We'll get to that later, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then I've written the word encouraged ? Which I assume is about having kids, but I'm sure that so people were encouraged to give their kids
to the agency to fight the
Basically, yeah. So
okay.
like it's kind of like a thing. Whereas if your kid has talent and you'll test as a kid, the best thing they can do is go fight.
It's just raw dog about money, though.
Well, people are struggling. Yeah.
All right.
You don't have to.
I guess.
No one forced you to give your kid to an agency, but it's like
the agency
the kid doesn't have a say in it.
no, the kid does not have a say in it.
So the agency will pay money to people for giving them a kid.
It won't. It'll be like, hey, come, you'll send your kid to an agency. They'll work for the agency, and a paycheck will go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll pay
Exchange
you for
your kid for a paycheck.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. That's often the case in this world. Especially the main character said she mentions at one point her mum was more interested in the money than her.
In a small probable break in continuity, I'm sure that you will get to it. Survival rate?
Survival rate of a ghost fight?
Ghost fighters.
It's never said the exact survival rate, but if you get, one thing we'll talk about later, if you get touched by a ghost, you die. So there's not a very good survival rate.
So low.
Low.
So this is very willingly like, I'm going to send my kid to... Okay, cool.
It's a very risky job, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
very
No,
risky.
that's all good. All right.
It's a very risky job.
For sure.
I also love the implication that we are stuck in effectively Thatcherite England.
Oh, yeah.
Thatcher
Hell yeah.
Thatcher never concedes as well. That's why all these kids are being fed to the ghost
Yeah, I
cities.
was going to say.
Very
this
Thatcher-esque.
explains a lot.
She's never stood down.
I still adore the fucking Thatcher side thing about the fact that she was involved in the development of soft serve, which was a way to inject air into ice cream, which fucking amen respect. It's not a corroborated story, and all sources say it's likely she wasn't, but also fucking incredible
It's
story.
funny if so.
Okay, so one thing I thought
You
you'd
must
ask.
give your children to the agency to fight the problem.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
my- that's my
Thatcher.
best Maggie
That's a
Thatch.
good Thatcher. I
Yeah,
enjoy
thank
it.
you,
That's
thank
a-
you.
that was a strong Thatch. I'd
What
put
can I
that.
say? It comes naturally to me.
All of you poor people, give your kids, please.
And they can join the better cause to put us back on the map and to stop this problem in our soil.
God.
Fucking
Okay.
incredible.
So one thing I thought I'd ask a question about, but thanks so much for asking about it. What do I hear? I hear a question. Oh, what about other countries?
What about other countries?
Thank you.
Dude,
I don't give a fuck.
I didn't expect it from you, dude. You don't see any other countries other than England.
I just kind of accept that Kent was fucked and everyone else was ignoring them.
It is never stated fully the extent of the problem outside of England. It is known that it is widespread in England, across the British Isles as well, but it is never stated. I believe there are three options here, from what I know.
Sorry, just to
Yes.
jump in right here.
Yes.
England, just England, or England and United Kingdom? Do they touch base into other parts of the United Kingdom or not?
I could only find this is a good question.
Yeah.
I only found a reference in the book that said England, like a quote that said
Right.
England. But I've seen Reddit things where they say the British Isles.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know if they've just gotten confused, or there is a quote in the book. The only places I've found where it acts as a place and acts as a ghost has been is in England.
Okay. Two very quick things. One, is it just in Kent? I presume it's over England.
So it spreads.
It spreads from England.
Yeah.
Cool.
As I said, so in the modern day, it's spread over. At least we know is all of England, at least that we know of, and the epicenter is in London.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, so not okay.
So it
Interesting.
started in
Kent
Kent.
anymore.
The epicenter is in London.
Interesting.
Which we'll get to why.
All right, and then expand. Not really a question, more of a statement. I think it's very funny how our early episodes were mostly just like, here's the timeline of a thing, and more of the modern episodes were like, here's the timeline of a thing. Here's also one thing I could not fucking find a source for, and it makes me so fucking angry that I can't find where the people are talking about this. It just appeared.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Because, okay, I can buy it just being on the main, British Isles. Even exclude Ireland, even if it was just Scotland, Wales, and England. I could buy that, because at least it's connect. But for it to just be isolated in this particular pocket of land in this time of year in your kitchen.
Just fuck London in particular, you know what I mean? Fuck the British in particular.
To be honest, it's pretty British just to not leave. Just be like, yeah.
But also, consider this, Scottish ghosts.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Oh, I laddie, you stay away from my grave now, sonny.
That was terrible.
I know. I was going to try and
that's
give it
the
like
sort
a ghostly wobble, but ghostly wobble and Scottish didn't
Don't
really
work.
mix very
I
well.
just a lot of my
Scottish.
relatives.
Oh, I'm going to get you, laddie.
Oh, you're gonna feel...
the dead just to eat your babies.
That sounds like the demo, man.
Okay, but the three options of what I believe could be possible. It is a global issue.
Yep.
That is why technology has not advanced in fucking 50 years. Because it's a global issue. Everyone in the world is putting it into this.
No,
Makes sense.
fucking England is reverse Wakanda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're
Like,
just behind the rest of the world.
So
They're
there
too
is-
busy with the ghosts.
that's one of them. So either it's a global issue and that's why technology is not advanced.
and also England's quarantined because otherwise the ghosts will spread.
Yeah.
But no other country is mentioned. You've just set into my fucking second.
Yahoo!
Number 2, stop jumping ahead. There's an extreme embargo on goods in and out of England, quarantine, to avoid the problem spreading. But you'd think this would be mentioned in some sort of black market that would clearly get through this. Never done. Never does.
Ghosts are too
There's a
good,
black
man.
market inside of England that we see, but there's not a black market that leaves or comes in. So
I mean, what England only has a buyer's market. What are they selling that the black market wants?
ghosts.
Ghost.
I'm not even joking. It's ghosts.
Ghosts.
They're selling ghosts.
Hey, I wouldn't doubt it. Oh wow.
So
okay,
3,
that's fucked up.
Or number 3, the writer didn't think about it and just wanted to focus on England.
Hey,
Yeah,
for
that's
real
fair.
though, writers out there, if you think these guys are so nitpicky about everything, I must define. Don't fucking bother. We're here to nitpick, and we'll find any crack we can. So at the end of the day, there's no point in trying to foolproof it because we'll still find something. Might as well
Scope.
not fucking bother.
If it's outside of your scope, that's fine.
That's the one, baby.
That's the thing. If your
The
scope,
scope is
is I wanted
England.
to write a thing in England, fuck yeah. We can speculate fan theories about the rest of the world, and that's fun.
But also, England's just been ignored by the rest of the world. So
I think that's pretty fun.
So that is the fun. That's the funny answer.
Yeah.
The not so funny answer is that they're all over the world. This is my theory that visitors are coming over the world, but England is like the worst problem. It's actually a problem in England, where it's like
England is a problem. You're
England
right.
is a problem. Where it's the epicenter of the whole thing. But I saw some people debating this on Reddit. So apparently Lucy references the main character references an ancient Greek ghost. I could not find the exact quote, but I do. It is stuck in my mind. That does make me ring a bell when I read them a while ago. This implies that the Greek has visitors, or that England has taken an old Greek artifact, which I'm sure England would
That's
never
so
do.
good.
No one would ever. England would never take an artifact from another country.
Well, probably not Greece.
sorry, do you guys want to talk about the Elgin marbles for a sec?
No, what do you mean?
Very quick. Fourth theory. Is those your theories?
Yeah. So it was known that it was an ancient Athens ghost. That's what we know. Yeah. What?
But I have another theory.
Yeah, go.
All the other countries just got rocked by the ghosts and just immediately
Are all dead.
fucking died.
Everyone's dead.
England is the last remaining
Oh my
country.
God.
It's possible. I mean, there's a reason why you wouldn't be contacting anyone else. England's the only
Yeah.
one who figured out that silver and metal does anything. Because, hey, I'm reinforcing my theory here. Because I've watched the Lockwood and Co show, a lot of the tropes have to do with like English witch and like spirit sort of things with like salt circles and silver and stuff. Other countries and other cultures have different sort of versions of ghosts, so perhaps their types of
Their
defenses
mythology was wrong.
didn't work. No, legit.
No, like honestly though, yeah,
hey, it's possible.
It's not impossible.
It's impossible, but I would,
No, shit.
it's a good theory without the knowledge. Walking into the show, it's a good theory. We might talk about later why that's probably not the answer, but it's a good theory.
Sad ghost noises.
So, ghosts.
Yeah.
Or visitors, as the show calls them.
Yeah.
Or phantoms, whichever you, all represent a spirit of someone who has died, usually from with unresolved conflict, and often in a violent end. Apparently, murder victims have a 65% chance of returning the first year, and a 35% chance after that.
Hey, I like those odds.
Not bad. I don't know if that's a joke about like they have 100% because the 35% adds to the 60, or it's just like a 2 percentages separate.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a joke about that, or they try to make a joke there, or not. But
I like the idea.
that murder actually have 100%
I like the idea that
eventually.
it's a joke. I don't think that that's how the statistics work, but I like that.
Neither, but it's fun. Cool. So, sorry, I read this wrong. So some ghosts, I've written this fucking horribly. To stay after deaths as a visitor, ghosts can to stay after death as a visitor. Mm-hmm. Ghosts connect themselves to an object in the real world, which is known as a source.
Okay.
This can be nearly anything from a corpse, which is common, or an important object to the person, or even a location.
Ooh, okay. One of those seems harder to deal with than the others.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you have to to eliminate a source, you have to destroy it, usually by incinerating it in a furnace. or burning the fucking place to the ground, which is not the best option when you're trying to like sell the. Usually people like sell the house. You're like, oh, I want to clear the haunting before I sell. Shit, sorry. I'll clear it out, but like sometimes it's like, fuck it, you're just fucking screwed.
Torch the house.
Don't make me add another thing to my lease checklist. I need to go and make sure there's no fucking sources now. There's no ghosts in my goddamn rental. My landlord's not going to deal with that. He's going to say he's sending out some kids to deal with it, and they're not going to come for another fucking 4 weeks. And when they do, they're not even going to tell me. They're just going to be in my house.
You don't check for ghosts already?
I don't know, man.
In this
My
economy?
girlfriend's not as witchy as yours.
Fair. It's fair.
Oh, God.
I get to leave the supernatural to Izzy, luckily.
Exactly.
So, the abilities. What can a ghost do? The first and number one ability that nearly all ghosts have is the ghost touch.
Yes. I was going to say what that ghost do. That ghost touch.
The ghost touch.
Guy, can you give me that ghost touch?
Who are you in this? Are you Gemma? Because if not, then this is non-monogamous and I reject your advances.
Oh, I was going for like a kind of Grease Cindy kind of vibe, you know?
Who?
Grease Cindy is 100% correct. I know who he's talking about. You're out of the loop. Yeah, in an alternative universe, I'd be into that. I'd default to that ghost.
Yeah, okay.
I'd absolutely get touched.
Sure.
Yeah, how are you going to recover from this one?
Does our love frighten you, Matthew?
Yeah,
Does our love scare you?
Yeah, it does. I'd rather be ghosted than ghost touched by you fuckers.
This podcast is going to be our location for our source.
It's going to be a mic. Our source is a mic, and will continually echo the podcast for all existence.
Yeah.
Hell on earth.
The most common affliction of is seen in most but not all, the exception being poltergeists, because they do not produce ectoplasm to produce a ghost touch. When touched by a ghost ectoplasm, the victim will feel an overwhelming sensation of sharp, powerful cold.
Oh. I feel that when people touch me as well.
When you get like touched by like a toe at night, touch your leg.
Yeah.
You feel like icy freeze.
Yeah.
See, that would be less concerning of a statement from Jude, but who
are you sleeping with?
Sleeping in his single bed, there's a toe touching you. I would be very concerned as well.
Yeah. Sometimes you find company in the
strange bedfellows, am I right?
Loose toes.
This icy numbness spreads to the body, making movement quite difficult.
I can imagine.
The area touched will begin to change to a blue or purple color, quite like kind of like a bruise or like what's it called, a frostbite.
Yeah.
Soon after, the victim's internal organs will begin to shut down.
Oh my fucking god! Okay,
resulting in death.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
The only treatment is a quick adrenaline injection to the point where touched. However, if the part is too large, the victim can still die from the ectoplasm touch.
Ooh, interesting.
Jeez.
Adrenaline.
So, like, a ghost can kill with one fucking touch.
One touch.
That's nuts.
That's why you got to keep the ghost back.
Because adrenaline is it would open up your blood veins. Isn't that one of the things? It increases blood flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good. I like that. That's good reasoning.
It's basically extreme chilling of the body. So you want to boost that blood flow.
That's really cool. I like that. That what am I saying? That
makes
tracks.
Sense.
That's what I was looking for. It makes sense.
Yeah, finally a world that makes sense with their ghosts.
Science coded for sure.
My ghost is science coded. I'm glad. If you live from the ghost touch, the area will actually soon heal and be gone in about a week. It's actually not that such permanent of a check, but most people don't live from it.
Right.
It is unknown if one unique thing is about the problem that we haven't really touched on, and it's not something we'll touch on too much, but from the records we have found, it is believed that ghosts did exist before the problem.
Okay.
So some people could summon ghosts in other cultures before the problem. So one is that there is a story of a ghost summoned in Athens where the scholar was unafraid of the ghost. So it's unknown whether this is due and didn't get ghost touched. So it's unknown if the ghost touch was part of the problem and that's why the ghost didn't touch him, or he was really lucky or stupid. He didn't seem afraid of this ghost.
Ooh. Is it possible that the problem has always been around, but they've only developed the ability to kill people recently? Because in that case, you get kids in their beds and scared, and I see things is a very common thing.
Maybe.
Maybe it's only the English ghosts that have discovered how to kill. Because that would track.
The English
Fucking
would
English.
fucking discover how to kill, wouldn't they? Fucking hell. You can't stay dead, the British Empire. The British Empire can't stay dead.
God damn it.
Oh, God. that would track. That would track. But yeah, there's also mentioned a Polynesian...
Britannia rules the way.
It also mentioned that Polynesian shamans also summoned ghosts.
Ah, I see.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So ghosts manifest in many, many different ways. These ways can often tell what type of ghost you're dealing with and what equipment might be used best to fight them. Sorry, I just killed an ant on the set and Guy's not happy.
I've been watching that ant for like 20 minutes now. He's been wandering around. And Jude points at him and Matt turns and just crushes him with 2 fingers.
I don't want you be distracted this whole episode.
I've been making valuable contributions to the discussion.
We were checking Anton's progress and Matt just killed him.
Matt just killed Anton, the 4th member of the podcast.
I'm
Ridiculous.
sorry. I didn't approve his application, therefore he's
If
out.
you want to see us reacting to Anton earlier this episode, join our Patreon.
Shut
You
up.
can see the moment that Anton first appeared to Guy.
Shut the fuck up.
Continue telling us about those horny ghosts.
So these ghosts manifest in different ways, and that will tell you what ghosts you're dealing with and what equipment will be best to deal with them. So, firstly, there's physical manifests. So all but poltergeist will visually appear in some form or other. Some more visible, some less visible, and depending on the person's talent for sight. They may appear as they did before death or appear in some sort of form of corpse in their current state. Some ghosts, like changes, can completely manipulate what their form appearance is. For example, there's a ghost that appears as basically blood in the ceiling, melting down into the room. Ooh. And the blood is like ectoplasm. So if you touch it, you get a ghost touch.
Oh,
so the entire room starts to fill with blood.
Dangerous.
Yeah, very, very.
Dangerous.
There's also visual occurrences. So ghosts can also create visual effects such as ghost fog or other light. So that's basically just fog, but it's ghostly. And
that's fun.
Other light is a ghostly kind of like aura that can show like footprints or like a strange light that the ghost will be giving off. So that'll only be seen by the kids. So it's not like a light adults can see.
So is that a sight thing?
Yeah, that's a sight thing as well.
Gotcha.
Interestingly, torches and normal lights can actually make it harder to hunt as it stops you seeing this other light. So we stop you from seeing like the footsteps or the auras or the glow.
Yeah, I
of the
can
ghost.
see that.
So
kind of like ruining someone's night vision.
Exactly.
Because you like shine a torch too close to them.
Exactly. So your ghost might sneak up on you. You can't see it because you're blinded by the torch.
That's fucked up. You're making these kids hunt ghosts in the dark.
Yep.
It's fucked
I
up.
can't see this being dramatic writing effect at all.
Nope, not at all. It is a thriller series.
Disgusting.
Fuck yeah. I really want to watch this show now. It already sounds sick.
It's good. It's a good show. You should read the books too. It's a YA novel, so it's not like childish too mad.
It's not bad. There's a bit of that love story, kind of teen romance, kind of.
If I remember correctly, the
what
TV
else am I going to read it for?
Oh yeah,
if I remember
Lockwood, he's so
correctly,
dreamy.
The TV show opens with a bunch of kids getting killed.
Okay, I'm done.
Hey, it's a good series. It's a good series. What am I saying? This whole fucking episode started with me being like, I love learning about how to entertain kids and,
I should have done that too. Talking about kids.
So true.
God. Ghosts also have been known to manipulate living beings' emotions, dulling them or enhancing them. So this can make you very angry or very sullen or very scared. So it's very different what the ghost can make you feel. So common manifestations are a ghost aura, which basically the light that's coming out of them. We talked about it a bit. Mm-hmm. Apparition of a ghost. So this will be seen as the shape of a ghost. This is often very important because different ghosts are classified by this. Like a shade will be just a shadow. I believe there's a bunch of different ghosts. Like what's the one I'm thinking of? Floating brides, which will be a female kind of chill white ghost and pale. So they kind of define the ghost by how they look and their characteristics. Yep.
Pretty discriminatory.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So are the other categories or like types and are the types and the categories two separate things? Like a type 1 white bride versus a type 3 white bride. Is that a thing?
No. So they're in a type there will be a list of possible type 1s.
Gotcha. Cool.
And then it'll be type 2, there'll be a list of possible type 2s.
Okay, cool. So if you are a bride, you are strictly going to be a type 1, 2, or 3, whatever there is.
Yeah, I think a bride is a type 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I believe it upgrades. So once you become a type 2, you become something else. Like, I think maybe it becomes like a wraith or something like that.
Oh, you respec. Okay, so it's like a class. Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like Pokemon evolution. My white bride became a bridezilla.
Well, often you can't, the ghosts don't reclassify. They don't get stronger or weaker, but they just exist at one level.
Yeah, of course, because they need a ghost trainer.
Yeah.
Ghost
Honestly,
battles.
though, there's arguments for and against if ghosts get stronger or weaker and change over time, but I would say they don't, in my personal, from what I know. But there's an argument for it. There's no evidence of it, though.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, fair enough.
We know that like areas can be more haunted. Like if more people keep dying there, it gets worse and worse. The ghost problem gets worse.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's just more ghosts. You're just adding more ghosts to the problem. You're not actually making that ghost stronger.
There's like a ghost energy type thing.
Exactly.
Lovely.
Okay, so a ghost will also create a chill or a cold spot. Ghosts lower the temperature of an area, and the following drop can often help agents lead them to the source. You follow the cold, you find the source. A creeping fear, an unidentified irrational fear of dread at the back of a person's mind. Or a rational fear of hunting a ghost.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
it's
that's
pretty reasonable
Yeah.
fears. It's kids going into the dark to go hunt the thing that kills you if it touches you. So here you go, kid. It's a rapier. Go for it.
Completely irrational.
Although I wonder, so you don't know exactly how old these kids are meant to be at the start, right?
Oh, that was the backstory. We know how kids, the main characters are.
Oh, okay.
So they usually, I believe it's age 12 to late teens. So people start believe to like basically fade around once you're 20 or slightly around there. You're kind of gone. You're like,
The ghosts come up, we're fucked.
most
Us
people
four-
fade
us
by
three are
20.
Fucked.
Most people fade their talents by 20.
Wow, okay, that's fucked.
Oh, they got to send kids, man.
Yeah, but I also, okay, hear me out. Tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yep, I was waiting for that. I think there is like a sweet spot of like preteen to maybe early teen when you've passed the age of 10 or 11 or so, where you're like kind of stupidly brave. You have that kind of like gusto of, I'm not scared of the dark. Yeah. You're like old enough to not be a frightened child, but also not old enough to have the rational thought of, this is actually quite a dangerous situation. Do you know what I mean?
I can see yes, but it is often the older kids that are better at it because they're just more skilled and more experienced.
Yeah,
Because
they
they fucking lived through it. They
Yeah.
managed to.
Yeah.
If they're older, they survived.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I
survival of the fittest.
could kind of maybe buy a 13-year-old with special talent like being more prepared to charge into the dark than an 18-year-old being thrown in for the first time who's like, no, this is dangerous as shit.
Oh,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
that's
That's
fair.
more what I'm getting at.
That is very fair.
Yeah,
And I
the
also-
They're trained at a young-
dumb bravery.
They're
you know
trained
what I mean?
up from a young
Yeah,
age.
Well, and also I get the idea of like beginner's luck of like a teenager not necessarily knowing what the right thing is, but sort of like just erratically figuring it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
I also, it's like that one time when you're at the bottom of like the basement or in like the dark where you turn off the light and you don't immediately run upstairs. You like
Yeah.
sit in the dark for like a
You're
second
like,
or two.
I'm proving this to myself.
And then
kind of
you run up the stairs.
Yeah.
I had that in my garage, had like stairs and you had to turn the light off at the bottom and it was like always scared me as a kid at night.
Fair enough.
Because then you have to run up and do like a complicated, you have to do a two-hand door. So if you don't get the two-hand door the first time, you're like panicking, then you like can't get the two-hand door the second time. You're like,
I used to sleep with the door open and the corridor lights on when I was that sort of age. So yeah, I don't think I don't know when I grew out of it. I just sort of closed the door at some point and then never really opened.
yeah.
Never opened it again. And now we're doing this podcast.
We never changed. So another thing, a common thing is a death glow. Mm-hmm. So a death glow is a energy and aura that leaves after where someone died. So often it's in the shape of them, how they died, how their body was like, or their spirit when they died.
If Lockwood doesn't quip at some point, oh honey, you're glowing or something like that, I quit.
He quips. They quip.
He's gotta quit.
They got to quip.
His fucking name is Lockwood. There's no way he's not a quipper. I can smell it coming off his name.
This is a minor spoiler, but my favorite character is a ghost in a jar.
Oh yes. I remember this. It's minor spoiler. It's like literally the first episode.
Yeah, of the TV show. It's like later on in the books, but it is also. He is not funny in the TV show at all. He's not funny. He is the funniest fucking guy in the books. He is sarcastic. He's an arsehole. He's a dickhead, and he basically just says, Yeah, why don't you leave Doc Lockwood to die? He's a bit of a scrum. You're better without him, Lucy. Just go and when Lockwood gets in a case, like
fucking loser.
And whenever Lockwood gets a bad case, he's like, "Come on, Lockwood, show him what they got, you fucking idiot." He's so sarcastic, so idiot. He's like, "Just fucking kill me already. These guys are so dumb." He literally says, "Why am I left with you fuckers? I am so unlucky."
Did he literally say fuckers in a YA novel?
He doesn't say fuckers.
He swears?
He doesn't swear in the YA novel.
Checkmate, loser. He wouldn't say a swear word because it's a YA novel.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, other thing, there are spectral winds, an unnatural wind whipped up by the ghost. This can range from a simple breeze to a gale force winds that throw people and furniture. Poltergeists are particularly in love with this ability, being able to throw strong enough winds to basically toss you around a room.
Yeah, I mean, I would love doing that as well if I was a poltergeist.
Oh, yeah, because they can't ghost touch you, so they might as well just throw you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we can't ghost touch him, he might as well ram his head into the wall.
Exactly.
Oh no, you fall down the stairs.
Satisfying, just chucking a 12-year-old down.
No.
Yep.
But yeah, absolutely.
If I were a poltergeist, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily,
My favorite-
luckily, I'm not a poltergeist.
Thank goodness we're
Although
not
here's the thing, right?
No.
No. If I were a poltergeist
Uh-huh.
and I murdered the 12-year-old by wind blowing him off the stairs, that's a murder. That kid's then got a 65% chance of coming back as a ghost.
In the next year, and then a 35% chance after that.
What I'm saying is, he could just come back right away and be like, "You fucking asshole."
Yeah.
Do ghosts ever
pretty funny.
beef?
I don't. We don't see people like ghosts having beef with each other. I don't believe. We definitely see a ghost having a beef with like a human being and killing him, and then being put to rest after killing that person.
Okay.
Because so ghosts, as I said, they manifest for like with unresolved conflict, and depending on the type of ghost, we'll have a level of sentience. We'll talk about it in a bit when we talk about types. But some ghosts will come back with more sentience than others, and that sentience will lead to a sort of like desire.
Right.
So if you're a very simple ghost, you might just be like, brains, I don't know, or like, I want to be here because I used to live here, right? Or
Gotcha.
you might have a ghost that's like, this fucker killed me, I am here till that fucker dies, or you kill my source, you know?
Okay, but what if the fucker who killed you is another ghost? Is it just, or is it more?
That never happens.
Is it more likely? Okay, in that case, headcanon for me with someone who doesn't know the series that well, I think that it would add to the original ghost's ghost energy.
Sure.
His ghost energy level. When you put the little thing down, and Vegeta's like, his power's over 9,000. I don't even know what that guy's called
there
Vegeta.
is some law that supports you can make your spirit stronger. So maybe that by absorbing ectoplasm. So
Possibly.
yeah. Anyway,
Give him the juice.
give them the juice. So there's also a miasma, which is unpleasant, which usually forms an unpleasant taste or smell in the air. Agents will often chew gum or eat chocolate to combat it. In high levels, this can be an extreme discomfort, like bugs running under your skin. So we also have the
Kind of hot.
molasses.
Molasses.
Which I have a quote for you guys. Anyone got Facebook up? Who's first?
I mean, I've already got the.
I've only have three.
I already got the thing open.
Go for it.
I only had 2 last episodes. You're already beating me. Direction.
Oh, which one? What is this? This is Lucy, I believe. So most of the whole story is from Lucy's perspective. So, teenage girl.
The problem is that my voice is too deep for girl voices, as I discovered when I played 4 years of a D&D campaign as a woman, but nonetheless. Silence and stillness and utter paralysis of movement were all I could aspire to, all that I deserved. In other words, I was experiencing ghost lock.
That was pretty good.
That's
good.
fine.
That was
That's
great.
fine.
That was great.
I
for
don't
a-
rep my girl voices. I need to do some.
Hey.
I need to look
Hey.
at some. No. I need to.
What defines a girl voice? You know
No,
what I
so
mean?
true.
It's
But
whatever you
also,
define it.
I would love. I've seen those YouTube tutorials of like, like transition things where it's like having a more feminine voice, and I so want to just watch them just so that I can do that voice better.
Based.
Yeah.
Love it. Just to be a better voice actor.
Just to be silly.
Cool.
No, not to be a better voice actor. There's no career end goal in this. I'm not making money off this. It's just for funny.
So
It's just for D&D.
molasses.
Just for correct.
Molasses.
Molasses.
Thank you.
Kill you.
I'm gonna kill.
I'm going to
I've only read the word, okay?
No, so true. Yeah, I get it.
Extreme feeling of lethargy or loss of energy. And in extreme forms, this is the form of ghost lock, which is when all willpower is sucked from the victim. So muscles feel heavy and they no longer can think or move freely. In a lot of cases, this leaves the victim fully transfixed until the ghost just comes and touches them.
Oh.
This isn't ghost. This isn't a ghost. This is called Instagram Reels, man.
Stun lock.
Skibbity. Skibbity?
No, shut up. Do not put Skibbity in this fucking
Skibbity's
podcast.
going in the podcast. Ohio Phantom
me,
Tax
cunt.
Riz. Baby
Shut
Gronk.
the fuck up.
Molasses, by the way. Are you referring to like a sentence that says like it feels like moving through molasses?
No, that's like that's what the effect is.
Molasses is a substance.
Yeah, it's like a real life thing.
Well, that's what they call when this effect comes
Okay,
onto
for
you.
sure. So moving like molasses. It's like a very thick syrup. It's
Yeah.
Interesting.
like
So that's-
a thicker version.
That's
of
what they
honey.
call the effect on them.
Yeah, for sure. No, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure molasses is a spell component for a bunch of fire things.
It
in
is,
D&D
it
as well.
is.
Like I think Fireball, one of the like actual materials is molasses.
Well,
Just a heads up.
I believe
As
like
cool as.
yeah.
yeah, maybe it's the molasses that like touches them and turns them. Into
Yeah.
stuff.
But also, I get molasses as a descriptor because it is essentially just extremely
Yeah.
slow and just like, can't move.
Those with training or extreme willpower can overcome this and break through sheer will.
Once again, Instagram Reels. So continue.
So none of us.
Even if a victim is brought to safety and the ghost is secured, some victims are left in the permanent ghost lock and basically leave them in a coma.
Wow, that's fucked.
Yeah, there's a scene in the show where they show like in the hospital where they have a bunch of kids. I don't believe that's ever in the book, but they show a show where some people are just left in a coma forever.
Is there? So there's nothing to be done.
No
There's
cure.
no shot of adrenaline.
No cure for them.
Okay. Fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Hey, so what? Okay.
Is it better-
I guess you do.
Is it better than death at some
Well,
point?
but I was thinking to myself, like, is that better than death, or is that cruel to keep them alive? But I guess in the fact that the problem's only been around for so long and there's still research going into it, it would probably be worthwhile keeping them, because the day that you end up being like, damn, we don't have enough beds, we'll kill a couple of them, is the day you discover how to take them out of it.
Classic. Cool. So now that we talked about the ghost like kind of powers and manifestations, let's talk about the weaknesses. Also, each ghost, depending on the death and depending on like the experience of the ghost, may form in different ways. That's why ghost hunters, agents often have to adapt on the spot and change how they will fight a ghost. We'll talk about it later, but that's why researching a ghost is really important.
So not only does this job have to be done by kids, it's also very hard to do.
And that's why we have the kids.
And that's why the kids are doing
That's why
it.
So the kids are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could an adult make this a lot easier? Yes. Would that take away from the YA version of it? Yes.
Of course.
There needs to be a reason why a kid has to do it.
The kids are the most important part
That
of
they are.
everything. Let's make the kids fight everything. All our problems can be solved by throwing kids at it. If I've learned anything from Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Weaknesses.
Weaknesses! Teach us how to
First
fight
one,
ghosts.
daytime.
Fuck off.
Huge.
Ghosts can only manifest at night.
Fuck yeah. Okay, great.
With the government enforcing curfew, the British government replaced street lights with ghost lamps. So basically, you don't need street lights anymore. Why do you need them? So basically, they're extremely powerful street lamps that basically only turn on and off at a certain times. Basically, blast extreme not sunlight, just extreme light onto the street for a little time, then turn off.
Question.
Yeah.
Does that mean that UV light would repel ghosts? Or is it not really shown?
Well, we're also stuck in 1960s, 70s technology.
Yeah.
There's a lot of handheld UV.
True.
That's not really seen.
Well, I was more
like,
thinking like, are
lanterns
these
and
ghost
shit.
lamps UV? But nah, okay.
It's just said that they're extremely powerful street lamps.
Oh, okay, cool. But they don't like repel ghosts.
The next thing is it's believed they do. Some people believe they don't work as the ghosts still freely roam at night. One of the main characters basically says they're full of shit. It is said that they are installed mainly as to reassure people and the government is doing something.
I would feel reassured.
Yeah, fair.
I'd fall for that.
Because most adults are just most gods never go outside at night.
I get that. I mean, yeah. Ultimately, like, you got to try something.
Yeah. And because they can't even see the ghosts, which is would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but it looks like they can see really well because of the street lights, and therefore it feels like they can't see any ghosts, so it feels safer.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's dark, there might be spooky ghosts in the dark.
Yeah. So the next one is silver. So silver is probably the best metal to affect ghosts, but it is very expensive. So silver can be used to subdue ghosts' ability to manifest. So a lot of people tend to adorn silver in hopes to keep themselves safe. So they wear like silver pins and stuff like that to help them kill themselves from the ghosts. Iron also a good way to slow and create barriers from the ghosts. So iron plating is put on houses, doorways. There's iron gnomes put in yards. Iron
Telling me
baby-
a fucking gnome's going to keep me safe?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a very British thing to put a gnome in the yard. Put a little iron.
Okay,
gnome.
listen. Listen.
I know one thing about British people, that's they put fucking gnomes in their yards.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But tell me this. Is it a 0% chance that the iron gnome's going to help protect me?
No, any iron is good.
Therefore, it's not a dumb dice.
That's why.
Yeah.
There's also it's got an extreme, right? They're just trying to sell iron everything. It's almost like it's kind of like this paranoia as well. So they sell iron baby bracelets. They sell iron crib decorations. Like anything, as much iron as possible to create barriers from ghosts, right? Yeah. So that's kind of
Iron's like AI right now. It's fucking everywhere, man.
Which is why Fairfax Iron is such a big company right now.
Of course, because they're loving that shit.
They're loving that shit.
That's so funny. Fucking the day before the problem goes public and we start figuring things out, this guy's like, I'm gonna put my money into the iron ore and salt industry. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. He's like, you'll see.
It is known that he was producing before, so it wasn't like a thing he started because of the problem. Iron Fairfax did exist before it, but it extremely expanded because of the problem.
Makes sense.
So
Are there iron ore mines in England? I presume so.
There would be. I'm not sure. I mean, coal was the big resource of England.
Yeah.
That's Industrial Revolution and
Not
all.
sure. Interesting.
But
coal don't do shit for this problem. But
Yeah.
you know what it does? Salt. So
luckily, Britain's surrounded by water. So
salt can also, it's very similar to iron, but much more of a solid way. It can be used to disperse ghosts or create barriers. So salt is laying on entranceways as to weaken ghosts and basically used to scatter their essence.
fair enough.
Lavender is also good. The smell of lavender is said to affect ghosts, kind of subdue them, let them less violent, less likely to manifest. Small vials of lavender water are basically like tossed around, kind of used as kind of a scent, as well as sprigs. Sprigs are worn on people.
Okay. Yeah, everything checks. That makes sense. Is it actually shown that lavender helps?
Yes.
Excellent. Cool.
So people burn lavender at night and often hang it outside their house.
I'm going to need you to flag while you're explaining these, which of these are actually effective and not.
All of these are effective.
All of these are effective. Cool.
All these are effective. It's unknown how much of just throwing these materials on you is going to fucking help against a ghost.
sure.
Because eventually they're very temporary effects of a ghost. They're mostly due to slow down and subdue one while the agents are... We'll talk about like actual methods agents use later.
Gotcha.
This is what kind of like people use.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
These are all weaknesses that work.
Uh-huh.
But like if you burn lavender in a house, you're not completely safe from all ghost attacks. But ghosts are often, because ghosts can to their source, often can't travel that far from it. And usually that's a place or an object that doesn't usually move unless someone's traveling around with the source. You know what I mean? So if a source is in that house haunted over there, it's probably not going to come a block away to come haunt you. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's reassuring. But
Yeah.
also then why does everyone need ghost protection on their doors? Or is it just because of the fear of insta-death?
Exactly.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
If something you can't see can touch you and kill you,
Yeah, I'd be doing weird shit too,
Yeah.
even if it didn't make sense.
you'd play everything.
Oh, yeah. No, that's 100% right.
What I'm hearing is it's a great time to bring back iron plate armor.
Honestly? Yeah.
If I went into battle fighting ghosts wearing plate armor,
I think if they could afford them, they'd give armor to their
man.
kids. But there's too many kids. You can't armor all the kids.
I'm going to work in my suit for sure.
yeah,
That's stealing a joke from Matt earlier.
yeah,
Chain suit, you know?
Still laughed at it.
yeah.
Cool. Another one is ghosts can't cross running water.
Oh, that's
Oh, okay. I'll surround my house in a fucking.
The moat.
I've got a moat.
Yeah.
Has to be running, remember?
Isn't that a
fine.
vampire?
It is a
thing?
vampire thing, but
Yeah.
it's also a ghost thing. So rivers are particularly effective for this.
Yeah, funny that.
So often people try and go close or will boat around the Thames to keep safe.
I was going to say, yeah, London's literally on a river.
Yeah.
So
That
Cool.
is to be-
Convenient.
But it is shown that ghosts can still manifest on the shores. So like there's like
Yeah.
a ghost that manifests on one of the shores of it. So
Oh.
can still, but like they can't cross it.
okay.
Like it is shown that the weakest of ghosts can also be turned back by even turning on a hose.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So legit, that's what the game does. Yeah.
Nice.
So that can be used. Fun fact. So this is like the Polynesian shamans used to build their spirit houses across a stream from the village as a defense against ghosts. So if they summoned a ghost and it turned bad, they wouldn't go and kill everyone in the village.
Or if the village had a ghost problem, then the shaman's house would be safe.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Shamans all good.
Like, it's real. It's separation. It's chambering. That's a great concept.
You're saying shaman when the word is clearly pronounced shamalama ding dong?
Excellent bit. Excellent bit. I respect the grind. I respect the hustle.
Yeah. So just so we're clear, the joke was that some people pronounce it shaman, and you were gonna like turn that into Shamalung Ding Dong. Is that right?
No, he just wanted to say
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah, Shamalama Ding Dong. And he's so right for that.
Hey, throw
Amen, brother.
throw
Amen.
yourself
Thank
out of
you.
the recording booth. No, honestly, this is the one time I have to deal with you. We're talking about England. He's the expert. So anything he says is canon.
That's it.
He's English.
I did look into it. I was half right. Obviously, coal was a big thing in the Industrial Revolution being mined in England.
I thought you were talking about the shaman thing.
But iron was also mined in heavy quantities during the Industrial Revolution.
There you go.
There you go. I didn't.
England
I
does-
thought it was just coal, but it was iron as well.
I mean, most of the Earth's got bits of metal underneath it. Australia's a bit lucky. What? I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Tell me I'm fucking wrong, all right? Most of the Earth has minerals under it.
You dig, you're gonna find iron eventually.
You probably will. That's how it works. That's what
true.
Minecraft has taught me.
It's true. It's true. God, I played Minecraft. I was digging for like an hour yesterday, and I couldn't find any coal.
The fucking new ore generation is cooked. I
Couldn't
do
find
not
coal.
enjoy it. We used to be able to just dig for a little bit and get a little bit of everything, and now you got to go fucking searching to go find shit.
I had 30 diamonds, 0 coal. I had no torches. I was like, what the
Wild
fuck is this shit? You know, they turning coal into diamonds. I want to turn my diamonds to coal. Baby.
I'll turn this into a fucking Minecraft episode if you let me. Keep moving.
Cool. That is the weaknesses
Fuck yeah.
of Ghost. Talking about the types.
Yep.
This is the question we asked. What the fuck is a type 1, type 2?
What is type 3?
What is this,
You
diabetes?
said type 3. Yeah.
What is this, Ghost diabetes? Same thing?
Oh, no.
So, ghosts are classified in types that scale exponentially, with the next type being much, much more dangerous than the last.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, type 1, it's like earthquakes, you know?
Yeah,
That sort of
yeah.
way. Type 1, most common and weak form of ghost, only a threat to the least trained or unprepared agent. A little more than a shadow of a past intention with no intelligence. So they might be echoing one word to a listener, or might be one sort of action to a sight person, one sort of feeling to a touch person, which we'll talk about later. But they're not very... They won't really change. They have one sort of action, so they're very easy to predict and kind of fight in that way.
Gotcha.
This includes shades, lurkers, cold maidens, floating brides, glimmers, pale stenches, and stone knockers. Yes, that's
Cool.
type 1s.
I think all three of us got a pair of stone knockers. Continue the episode.
Type 2. These are more dangerous and can be a threat even to the most prepared and trained agent. You know what my problem with this is? That like they jump really quick.
Yeah.
There needs to be levels.
Yeah,
like
one's no issue, two's fucked.
you could make like 10 levels out of this shit, and they decided, no, we'll do 1 and 2, and then type 3, we'll talk about it. You never see a type 3. If you see a type 3, you're dead.
I mean,
I assume they see a type 3 in the main series.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, follow the fucking difficulty levels that have been defined already. You got easy, medium, and hard. You
Yeah,
shouldn't- Where's medium, baby? Where's my normal mode?
So, type 2 ghosts possess a limited intelligence, intent, and desires. They're able to communicate in a sort of fashion. So with type 1, they'll repeat like one word. Type 2 may repeat a couple different phrases or some sort of intention. They'll be like, these are the kind of type that one, that person killed me, I want them dead kind of thing, where they might actually try and communicate that to someone who is a good enough listener. Most people don't believe that kind of intelligence. They will still be like, maybe it could just they'll still be a very dangerous ghost, obviously, but they won't believe the intention or the intelligence. But some ghosts will actually like try and get that desire and solve the case more than try and kill the people.
Right.
That they believe
so
they can.
You've got more of a like intention, like I was murdered by a scorned lover, rather than type 1, which is like I was pushed down the stairs, but I didn't see who did it.
Yeah. If it's a really bad murder, or it's a really bad kind of death, that will also quite entice more of like a bad death, a bad ghost.
What's bad mean? Like violent murder, like multiple stabs versus
Like there's like one ghost who kind of manifests as like a group suicide that kind of manifests as one ghost.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah. So there's like a bunch of monks who suicide
Okay,
together.
cool.
There's also there's also a murder where they strangle the person to death. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
This is a children's book.
Of course.
So that kind of stuff.
Why?
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 My question,
Yes.
are we led to believe that every ghost is necessarily malevolent, or is there type 2 ghosts that may not necessarily... Because you said just before that there's an example of a ghost that's more interested in solving the crime of its murder than killing people.
Yes, this doesn't mean this ghost is not dangerous and will kill you. All ghosts are dangerous, kind of reacting. It's kind of like a wild dog.
Right.
But there's only very few cases, and that's like a thing with the main characters like, no, wait, we can solve this guy's murder. We don't need this ghost. We'll solve it. And that's like the one time everyone's like, you're fucking crazy, go home. Like, it's most people are like, these ghosts are dangerous, we're here to solve the problem, we're here to kill them, we're here to hunt them, right?
Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah.
And a couple people are like, oh, maybe we can help them. And then everyone's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Okay.
And then there are also some people like a cult of ghosts who believe the ghosts are like right and we should be following them. Those are those are insane. Those are insane.
Stupid.
Yeah, they're like, no, the ghosts are here to listen to, not be killed.
Who's the X-Man who can touch someone and kill them?
That's not an X-Man. That is Hela in the comics. Hela.
Really?
Hela in the comics, she touches you, you die. That's the god of death. So that you're thinking of Darwin, who Hela touched, and he became the god of death because he can't die.
No, I am not. I'm thinking about a
Rogue?
Tumblr. That's the one.
I'm thinking of Rogue.
So about a Tumblr post to do with
Rogue does suck your power out of you, and then sucks the life force out of you as well. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
she will kill you.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where it's like I have touch and kill you powers. It doesn't matter if they're on your side or talking, but it's still dangerous as fuck.
Ghosts are very still like with this very limited intelligence. They're still very like kicking, reacting. Kind of, I'm dead. What the fuck is happening? Right? So because they're always living in that moment of death.
Oh, so do they don't have much of an ability to establish new memories or something?
Not really. No.
Okay. Gotcha.
There's some times with like you're trying to help me. I think, but there's not like I'm learning. They never see a ghost learn.
You can't revisit them and be like, oh, hey neighbor.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah. So. So they possess. They're aware. They're also aware that the living is attempting to hunt them. Though they can be like, "Oh, you're here. You're in my house. You're trying to stop me." You know, they can be aware of that. So that's why they make them more dangerous. They will actively try and stop you.
Gotcha.
So this can be specters, phantoms, wraiths, dark specters, fenchers, limbless, poltergeist, raw bones, changes, revenants, and shining boys.
Shining boys.
That's
we all got a pair of shining boys in us.
Fuck, I was gonna say we are a triplet of shining boys.
We are a triplet of shining boys.
You've got 3, damn dude.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, type 3.
Fuck is a shining boy? I'm googling this. fuck you and your spoilers. I want to know what shining boys are.
Don't just look up Shining Boy.
It's just the boy from The Shining.
You look up Shining Boy.
No, it's
Lockwood
fine. You fucking explain it to me. Get on with your episode.
Go on, Matt.
No,
What's
don't Google
3?
it. Keep going with your script. We'll figure it out later.
Oh, you just looked up the boy from The Shining. Oh,
him on his little tri-wheel thing.
Yep.
Fucking stupid.
Okay, type 3. So, everything we heard about ghosts, throw it fucking out the window.
Out the window!
Because these ghosts are basically nothing like. This is the rarest type of ghost with full sentience and intelligence that a human possessed in real life. They can learn, you could conversate with them. They're fucking basically sentient.
Okay.
So, when I talk about learning, they can do it.
So they're basically just a person after death.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
They can hold full conversation, have the ability, for those who have the ability to hear them, which is a very unique ability of a listener. But we know only 2 type 3s that have ever known to exist. There could be more. We only know 2 of them. There could be a bunch more, and we just haven't got a listener close enough to hear them, and they get destroyed beforehand.
Interesting.
But we only know 2 of them. No agent has ever seen to defeat one in a fair fight.
Right.
We've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
Basically, it's fucking like you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Go fucking home, you know?
You can't, yeah.
You can't. Even among the 2 type 3s that we've seen, their power level is very different.
Right.
So it's unknown whether even it's fair to put these 2 in the same category. They're both classified type 3 in the books, but basically, when one tries to fight the other goes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And just and goes, and basically barely, like, it yawns as it basically flicks him away. Like, it's like, you're not even my level, bitch boy.
Okay.
It's barely a fight.
Nice.
So it's power levels is really hard when you get to the very end when you don't have a lot of examples. It's very hard to find where the power levels really define. Cool. The 2 ones we have both have very, very powerful spectral winds, and we both know they can kill. So we both know they can ghost touch and they can powerful wind. So the powerful wind is very much a poltergeist thing you'd think normally, but they can both have ghost touch. So which is not a poltergeist thing. So it is unknown what you'd even fucking classify these fuckers as.
Nice.
Cool.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are weird.
They're cooked.
Wild.
One like glows golden, which is weird for a ghost.
Found out
Golden boy.
Golden boy.
Shining boy.
Cool. cool. So that
Found out what a shining boy is. It's a young boy or a girl ghost surrounded by cold ghost light. It's known to lure agents, especially empathetic ones.
that makes sense. It's a shining boy.
Yeah.
It's just a lost child.
And it's gonna kill you.
Yeah. I will say, hunting, it says behavior, luring agents with their beauty. Beauty?
Shining boy?
Shining boy?
Well, maybe they're the same age as the agents.
It's
so-
actually, I was going to think, are they predators? And I'm like, no, the agents are the same age.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're really
Maybe.
hot teens. They're like,
No, hey, no. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the HR meeting shakes out when they clip really hot teens. That's going to play real well. That's going to play so sweet.
a teen can be 19.
That's true. In Australia.
Fuck.
It can also be 13,
No,
Matthew.
don't say the age of consent law. That makes me sound worse. Do not even say the age of
I mean,
consent
it is
law.
genuinely true. The age of consent is 18 in Australia. That's just a thing to establish. We're not the same as America.
It's 16.
16, you're actually
It's
correct.
16 in
Yeah.
Australia. That's
Yeah.
why we're not. America is at 18.
No, but we have rules specifically. 16 for general age of consent. 18 is not with a person who has authority over you, which
Yes.
is an interesting little condition. Nonetheless, moving on from that particular topic.
Well, that little weird.
Hey man, I have to. If I start a topic, I got to explain it.
Yeah. Let's get these shining boys out of here.
Shut the fuck up.
So talking about the agents, the children we send to fight these ghosts. So a psychological, psychical, why did I say psychological? Psychical investigation agent, otherwise known just as agents or as operatives, is a person, child, with talent hired to hunt ghosts. The job of an agent is being sent to a location to hunt down a ghost and stop the haunting. Very simple.
Easy job.
This can be done by identifying the source and covering it in either silver or iron.
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's a silver chain.
Yeah,
They
little
use-
chainmail.
They use to cover it, or putting it in a similar device. This is usually like silver glass. They put in like a jar. Sources are then given over to DPRAC they're given to DPRAC for incineration, which is done at the FITS in furnaces.
Cool.
So FITS is one of the agencies. They have the big furnaces.
Yeah.
They give them to them. They burn them.
Nice.
In rare cases, they are kept as trophies or experiments. So usually it's illegal to do this, but you see some of the other agencies or DPRAC use them for experiments, or as like in like a big building, you might have like these are the ghosts we killed. You have like usually the safest ones. You have like protected behind like glass. Be like, this is the ghost we killed.
Kind of fucked up.
But yeah,
They're still people at the end of the day.
it's like an echo of a person. Yeah,
Still came from a person.
yeah. It's kind of you walk in there. That's my uncle. Well, you got my uncle on the wall.
Hey man, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, legit. It's like that's my uncle.
God damn
Uncle
it.
Ben. Spider-Man's gonna be
Spider-Man's
Avenge me, Peter.
Avenge me! No. Okay. As talent only appears in those in their teens, the agents are teens. Well, they appear as children. They start as children, but the agents are teens.
Yeah.
These agents are then trained in the art from a young age. Even so, the old agents are often higher ups with the talent refined with experience and use, and the ones who haven't died yet.
Yeah, fair.
So that's why they're the higher ups.
Makes sense.
I mean, proven track record is always a nice thing.
Yeah. You got to have a long resume.
tough
Bob.
times build tough people, right?
Yeah, sure. What is it? Live long and carry on? What's that?
Keep calm and carry
That
on is what
one.
you're thinking of.
I think you just blended Keep Calm and Carry On and Live Long and Prosper, which is Star Trek cross fucking World War II England.
Yep.
You know, keep calm and prosper. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bestie.
Mother England, am I right?
Mother England. I'm turning British, I think. This is my
Your
Irish
brain's
to me is
just a
finding.
blender of ideas. It's just shit smashing into each other, man.
These agents are usually accompanied or under the direction of a supervisor, usually an adult.
Oh.
I
This
know.
will be an adult.
I was going to say, so there's adults there, but they can't see the ghosts. They're just kind of trying to be
They're
middle
supervisors. They give direction. They manage.
Right.
So
Yeah.
often these older agents, these are often old agents who have lost their talent.
Yeah.
So they know the job, they know the theory, but they can't see the ghost anymore. So they give direction and manage the danger.
Is there ever a moment when a really badass old agent that no longer has the talent has to blind fight a ghost that's attacking children?
There's a time, I believe, when it's trying to attack it, and it's like his talent's kind of faded and he can't really see it. He's trying to fight it, and then one of the kids comes over and helps him.
Oh,
because he can't fight. It's really terrifying trying to fight something you can't. You can half sense, you know.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of thing. Well, no, you often see the adults be really bad supervisors.
Yeah, fair.
But there are some good ones. So like it's not like there are some like agents who are like, no, that's too much damage for this. We're not prepared, and we'll go back. But there's often you see, no, just get in there, fight them. Come on, kids, we're here to get paid. We're not here to come back another day. You know?
Can the adults help with research by like based off like images the kids have like drawn or like told them?
Yeah. Do they?
Cool.
Probably not.
I see.
They're not there to do that.
I mean, I guess it is.
They're managing. They're managers.
I mean, if you're first hand, you can probably do a better research to see.
So one of the things about the agency that we follow is it's an agency of 3 kids with no adults.
Gotcha.
So it's an agency of like, we don't need supervisors. Supervisors slow us down and get in our way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing where we don't need adults.
They are teenagers.
They are
at the end of the
teenagers.
day. Yeah.
So we don't see the insides. We never follow like what does the research look like for an agency that does have adults. So they probably, from what I think remembering the books, they have teams who do the research.
Nice.
And then teams who go into the field. Okay. So they have so much resources to be able to do this. So like a team will research and then give them information and then send the kids into the field. So that'll probably a smarter thing to do, but then the things we follow are 3 kids who just fucking go into the field. You know?
Interesting. There you go.
Yeah. And one of the kids in the team, the Lockwood and Co, is like the researcher in the team. He's really smart. Good old George. We love George.
What's his sense?
He's got a moderate ability of all 3.
Nice. Oh. He's a Chad. What the fuck? Why is this guy not soloing?
Because he doesn't have a really good of any of them.
Oh.
Fucking whatever.
I mean, he used to be part of, I believe it was Fitz. I think it was Fitz. I think he was part of Fitz. He used to be like part of Fitz, which is the number 1.
Nice.
So he used to be part of the really good ones. Then he didn't join them. I think he left because he didn't get along with the supervisors.
Lol.
He's like, I hate being controlled. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Probably he said something and they didn't listen to the child. You know what I mean? So, how do we define like what level an agent is, right? Like,
It's a very good question.
Sigma.
So, agents receive
Beta, Alpha, Sigma, of course.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Agents receive certificates graded from 1 to 4.
Oh, cool.
So the top agencies will only take grade 4 agents, which you go to a small agency, you like work up to a grade 4, but you only get you only be taken by a main one at 4. So in the TV show,
Lockwood and Co is a major one.
no. They're like the smallest one in London.
Oh.
There's 3 people in it.
There's literally 3 people. It's one team.
Okay,
of 3
sorry,
people.
I get it now.
No,
Yeah.
because Lockwood and Co. It's like him, his researcher friend, and Lucy, and that's the main cast,
I
which
see.
is
And
why
then-
they get up to shenanigans.
I see.
And then in the later books, they have Kips and they also have Holly.
You think I've read the books?
So they get up to 5 people. And I
I've
don't-
read the
don't know if
first
Kips
book
actually-
and I've watched the series.
I don't know if Kips actually becomes an official member of Lockwood and Co.
Thus why Fitz is the big one.
Correct,
That's-
yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Fitz and Rotwell have hundreds of agents.
Yeah, gotcha.
And teams of researchers.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are the-
Piles of salt.
Yes. In the TV show, it is illegal for an agent under grade 4 to go into the field without a supervisor, but but in the books it's just unusual, but not like illegal.
Okay.
So that's kind of that is a difference. Usually, so I'll talk about it later. But yeah, so basically, grade 4 is the best. That's when you can actually like send agents into the field. That's like they're good, they're trained. Usually, even like a grade 1, it's more like keep training and stuff like that. Like, and you won't actually get good until like the upper level.
What's the practical to theory level? Like, are these all just like tests that you can set? Can someone get to grade 4 without technically ever going into the field and just prove themselves based on practicals and theories?
We never get an exact definition of how you grade people or what classify. It's kind of like if you prove yourself, you get to grade up. It's kind of like karate grades. You ever done karate when you were a kid? You have to you do like a test, you prove yourself.
So would they go to like a educator to get graded?
Oh
or
yeah, is it like an
the
independent
agencies give
thing?
them grades.
So Lockwood and Co can grade.
Just self-grade.
Because that's my question.
Yeah. So Lockwood and Co, because they are an official agency,
Okay.
they can grade, but they have to have like proof that they did that. So the DPRAC
Right.
will like monitor them, and be like, did they actually give the grades? So they're like the government agency that steps in and goes, yeah, are you actually doing things right? We'll shut you down. We'll take your license because you have to be licensed as an agency if you don't do it right.
So Lockwood, the kid, Anthony Lockwood.
Yeah.
He got
He got a license. Yeah.
okay, sure.
I mean, DPRAC were like, hey, you know ghosts better than we do, I guess.
Fair enough.
hey, Deep Rack were like, we need as many people fighting as possible.
It's fair. It's fair.
He managed to get a license. He paid the license fee, and we're like, we couldn't stop him.
That's
Sure.
fair.
There's a hole in the legislation that says that nothing in the rules says a child can't register
Listen,
to be an agency.
if a guy shows up for his driving test, aces the driving test, and passes all the thing, it doesn't really matter if he's wearing a clown costume or not. You got to give him the license. It's
true.
a little weird,
It's true.
but who fucking cares?
You know, the top agencies, Rotwell and Fitz. That's what I said. But I guess there are many different agencies all over England, including Lockwood and Co. So yeah, we
Nice.
already went through that. So agents, what do they have? They have talents. So why would someone become an agent? Because they have talent. So this is the ability to detect ghosts. That's as simple as possible.
Okay.
There's 3 different areas of talent. Sight, the ability to see the manifestations of ghosts. Those with strong enough levels of sight basically see all the ghost light, ghost auras, the ghost manifestations themselves. If they have strong enough levels of this talent, they have to use sunglasses in the field so they can see properly without hurting their eyes. So one time, like Lockwood, who has a really strong sight, he basically says, should have brought my sunglasses. Death glow is fucking crazy.
Yeah, right.
So strength of the death glow related to strength of the ghost?
Strength of the ghost and the strength of the sight. So
right.
both.
Gotcha.
So both of their strength of their talent and the strength of the ghost.
Going into the fucking dark with the sunglasses on.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yep. So listening, detecting the sounds of the ghost make. This also is often manifest in the echoes of the past, but can also be the words the ghost trying to communicate, or extremely rare cases, full conversations, as we talked about. Only 2 people in history have ever been known to be able to have these conversations. So that's a strong enough listening level to be able to communicate with a ghost. Though we haven't tested this. We haven't gone a bunch of listeners get together. Here's a type 3, talk to it. But there's no recorded cases. Oh, I found type 3 and I talked to them. Doesn't have that is one case in recorded history of that happening, and that was Marissa Fitz. And everyone's like, whoa, right. She talked to a type 3. Is that even true? Did she actually talk to a type? Is that even a real thing?
That was way back in the Foundations.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Everyone's like, whoa, did that happen?
Whoa.
So it's possible it's just a rare thing of a strong enough listener and a strong enough ghost. There might be other listeners out there that can communicate. They just haven't come across a type 3 yet.
Yeah. So it's 2 rare things happening at once is very...
Gotcha.
We only know of 2 times it's ever happened.
So which is Marissa.
Well, actually, technically 3. Marissa had... Okay, that we know of. Okay, outside of the... We know there's 2 times Marissa has found a type 3, and 1 time our main character has found a type 3. So that we know of, there is 2 type 3.
So Lucy's the listener.
Yes, Lucy is the listener. So there's 2 type 3s that we know of, and 2 listeners who can talk to these type 3s.
Interesting.
The third one is touch. So this is the ability to feel the presence of a ghost or the source. Often this intertwines with other sources. When you feel the presence of a ghost through, it comes with a visual or a sound cue. Lockwood has the strong sight, Lucy has a strong listening, and George has a moderate of all 3.
That's really cool. As if they didn't have one person of each sense, though.
Well, touch kind of leans into the other 2, and George is kind of not really he does go into the field a lot, and he's very good in the field, but that's not his main thing.
I see.
He's the research man. He's
a book boy.
Generally, the general rule is the more talent, the better pay.
Yeah.
Talents seem to be...
Just like real life, right?
Just like real life, right?
It's immediate. Yeah, fuck me. Talent seems to be genetic in some way, often being known to run in families. We have no proof of this. There's not a gene that we know of, but we've seen my mum had it, I have it, that kind of thing.
My sister had it. My father had it. I have it.
Okay, it's not the fucking Force, Luke Skywalker. Get out of here.
Kind of making it sound like that.
It kind of is, Shit, maybe it is. Most agents possess some multiple talents, but often specialize in one. Generally, they have a blend of multiple. It's often stated that the most important talent is sight, because if you can't see the ghost, how are you supposed to fight the ghost?
Nice.
Yep.
So probably all agents have a little bit of sight at least.
Okay, so Lucy, despite not being a perfect viewer. What the fuck?
Seer.
A seer, being a listener, still has an amount of sight.
Yes.
Okay, that
She
makes
can
more
see a
sense.
ghost when it
Because I was recalling the show, and I remember that there are like visuals for the ghost, and I was like, are we just having to like suspension of disbelief, just like imagine that Lucy can't see this guy? But no, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, there's no time they really point it out, but there's sometimes they go like, hey, Lockwood, have a look at this. Do you see any where the ghost might went? You might see like footsteps, or they might see the
So
glow.
he'll see like traces and shit, whereas
Yeah.
she'll see the actual ghost going woogly woogly boo.
Yeah, and which he might see more details on her.
Yeah.
She'll see like a less clear image,
Yeah,
or maybe
gotcha.
they'll see a glow, and he'll see like, oh, that's actually a guy who fell. He clearly broke his neck, and the guy's like, I can't see that. That's a glow.
Yeah.
So everyone in the party rolls perception and sees the path, but only the guy with high perception can see the trap on the path.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
It always comes back to D&D, baby.
Exactly. So, even after talents fade, agencies will still try to find jobs for their talent, their agents, like supervisors and stuff like that, but this often doesn't happen as well because they can't find enough jobs.
But it's okay. I'm sure that the retired hunters are very well taken care of and looked after and treated very well in society of England.
Yeah, just
and,
like our veterans, for
yep.
sure.
Yeah, totally.
right?
For sure, man.
Yeah. Anyway, equipment. So the number one equipment is the rapier. So, beginning with Marissa and Tom, the use of the rapier has become a standard in ghost fighting. Most blades are a steel with a silvered tip. Agents use them by thrusting and striking the ghost to keep their distance and drive them back. Dueling competitions are held in high regard, as it often is a way to see how good an agent might be.
Yeah, fair.
Nice.
Agents normally receive their first rapier at their 3rd grade test.
Okay. So the first two don't involve any ghost combat?
That implies, that implies they probably are theory based.
Oh, well, actually,
Or maybe
no.
they are
No, they could be using, like, practice rapiers. Like little wooden ones.
Yeah, to fight the ghost.
No, but, like, in the tests,
Yes,
for example.
that's true. Or they could be using it. They're like, hey, come on this mission. I'll defend you. You're here to like observe on like a very minimal ghost, right? So they could be doing that.
That's grade 1. And then there could be even, like, just like a little sparring sword that they just use
Yeah.
to face off against each other.
Yeah.
Or, like, a dummy.
Yeah, but they give a first proper rapier at grade 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is there any idea about what age people generally get those grades? Like, as sort of like a marker, like a grade 1 is, a 12-year-old getting their
I think
first
it's mentioned.
opening.
I don't think that's ever mentioned, but like usually I can't remember what age Lucy is. I think she starts at like 14 to 16 and she's like should be at grade 4.
Right, so it probably would be like 12, 13,
she's 16.
12, 13, 14, 15. You'd probably year after year get the grade 1, 2, 3, 4 before 15.
Probably,
going
if you're
in.
not dead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, fucking, yeah. Yeah, no shit. I'm going to get my university degree if I don't die first, for sure. Yeah, continue.
You might die first before you get it.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
We all might.
He got it.
Doesn't feel like it.
Are we not dead inside
Yes.
before we got
yes.
our degree?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we're the ghost all along. You know what I mean? Maybe the ghosts are really alive and then the
Yeah.
humans are dead.
That would make so much sense.
They're more human than us.
When you die, you wake up in the real life.
Oh, deep.
There's a bunch of other fellow aliens around you going, dude, you took such a big hit of the bong. Are you okay?
Fuck, we're going way too deep into the... Okay, Silver. So,
Assuming that the aliens would speak English, I think it'd be closer to something like
Yep.
Silver. Silver chains, as mentioned before, are used to subdue a source. So you throw a silver chain over a source, the ghost goes away.
Do you mean like a sheet of chainmail, or
Yes.
like okay, so not
They're
just like
finely like done together chain.
okay, so not like a big chain.
No, like a chain sheet.
Are things ever just chained with big chain?
We'll get to chains later.
Cool.
Silver glass is often used as a permanent housing for a source because it's more safe, more secure than just a sheet of chain. Iron is then used, so iron chains, as you said, iron chains and fillings are used to create a barrier from the ghost. The ghosts are hard to cross that iron barrier.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Ghost very, very appreciative of like two-dimensional fighting. Like, they see an iron, they're like, oh fuck, I can't cross that. Thanks, but
They never just pass through the ceiling straight on top of them.
exactly, they're very respectful.
Sounds like a rookie DM right there.
Lavender. So lavender sticks are used to subdue weaker ghosts and giving agents more time. It basically makes the ghost like, you burn lavender, they're like, oh no. They
Good
feel
to know that in this apocalypse, Izzy and I will be fine because Izzy has lavender and every possible herb under the sun.
fine.
Already, so.
You're good. Lavender bombs are also used to like kind of disperse a ghost.
Does Izzy have
They-
lavender bombs?
Fucking know she does.
I have some of Izzy's lavender bombs in my bathroom where they are in a Ziploc bag and it's still making the entire room smell like lavender constantly.
There's going to be no ghosts in their house.
No,
You're good.
no,
You're
not at
good.
all.
Salt. So salt circles are used to create barriers, as well as salt bombs used to disperse a manifested ghost or deter one from manifesting.
Matt
So
will also be safe because the amount of salt you put in your food.
oh
you have
yeah, I
circles
got
around.
so
Izzy and I used to make jokes when we lived with Matt that he was like spirit protecting himself because he would always have a salt circle around his dinner plate because he'd just go fucking ham with the salt grinder.
He's so
and there'd just be
right.
like a perfect
I do 2
ring.
circles of salt when I make a meal.
He's
And it
100%
perfectly misses the
correct.
plate.
You are the outlier on this table.
no,
I'm a salt defender.
No, I put the same amount of salt on, but it was the fact that he always missed the plate by enough to make a ring of salt. That's the meme.
Yeah,
Just bad aim. Okay?
no, it's protecting your meal from the ghosts.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
feel like if I ate enough salt, the ghost can't touch me. you know?
Exactly.
true.
Yeah, you real.
You
real.
calcify. No, that's the wrong fucking element.
It totally is.
Anyway, so salt bombs are used to disperse or deter one from manifesting. So you throw one in a source that might actually stop that source from manifesting quickly enough to get a chain on it. You know.
Yeah.
Also, the best ones, magnesium flares, also known as Greek fire, or just flares, are an explosive containing iron filings that they use to subdue a ghost once they've manifested.
Nice.
They're
That's
basically
fucking sick.
grenades.
Yeah.
I love the term subdue.
They range from small bombs, basically like firework kind of crackers, to bombs big enough to level a city block.
That's fucking insane.
Hey man, if the ghost calls for it, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, if it's a whole mansion that's infested.
The city block one is hub of one person, and there's like a investigation saying like you can't have bombs this big. This is like a risk.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you have a bomb this big? There's the whole thing.
Because science.
Just big ghost.
They are they advise to only use outdoors as they are known to have burned down houses.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
These can also be used. Have even used big enough ones can be used to destroy sources. You just blow it up.
Nice.
Yeah, but the
So
most
shattering, depending on the source, like if it was a skull or... Okay.
I guess, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some sources
I like
known to
that
shattered
as
by
if
magnesium
there's
bomb.
a dangerous ghost that you're struggling to find the source for, just throwing a bomb at the building and going, well, the source is in there somewhere. We got
there's
it.
One where they're like the source is like the corpse is down a well, so they throw the bomb down a well.
That's great. That's excellent.
You know, that works. The most important tool in a agent's toolkit. Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Researching the history and the ghost beforehand can often tell you what type of ghost you're walking into, what the source might be, and where the source might be. This looks like paper, like all the newspaper records of the time. You can see like someone was murdered here 50 years ago. You can be like, okay, they were murdered. They're murdered by strangling, and they did it in the upstairs room. So it's probably going to be there. It's probably going to be It was the groom, so it's probably going to be like a floating bride or whatever. So like we can like work out what we're dealing with before we walk in there. You know,
Okay, that's good.
There might be
good.
multiple
Yeah.
murders in this house that we don't know of. You know what I mean? So if you do your proper research, you'll find out that you might be walking into a trap.
Oh, right. So there's like... Okay, I'm predicting a storyline, or I might be remembering it and thinking that I'm picking it up. But like going into a house and being like, oh, it was, a standard like person fell down a stairs and now there's a ghost here. So it's probably that. But then looking back like 50 years ago, there was actually like a brutal husband-wife murder suicide pact thing, and it's ended up with a massive type 3.
You basically just describe the plot of the first episode
Let's go!
of the show. Yeah.
Excellent. That's me
And there's
remembering the plot of the show and thinking that I created it in my own head. Happens more than you
Yeah,
think.
literally a guy falls down the stairs.
Yes, guy does do that a lot.
It's like to that detail. You kind of got it on spot on.
Let's fucking go. My memory is so much better than I think it is, but I just can't access it by trying to think of the thing I want to think of. I have to trick my brain into finding it.
Guy's got incredibly big hard drives in his brain. The pathways to reach those hard drives
Obscured.
are very obscured.
Dark Forest.
It's all in there. You just got to
Yeah.
find it.
Just gotta find it. Gotta dig.
So this is this is one of the keys to ghost hunting, and walking in unprepared can be a death sentence. Often a single haunting can lead to other jobs, as I talked about. Basically, yeah. So have a good researcher. Often that keeps Lucy and Lockwood safe is George having fucking done his research beforehand. Basically, do good research.
Yes.
Boys.
That's a rule for life.
do good research. That's what we're here for. Cool.
We are the law keepers.
That is agents. Any questions about agents?
No, honestly, no. That was pretty
No,
good.
that was-
that
that
answered
was
all the questions that I had so
Beautiful
far.
summary.
Let's expand this world a little bit. Talk about some other groups. Who else is existing in this world, right? We have relic men.
Ooh.
So relic men are people who collect sources with the intention of selling them on the black market.
Oh.
So
Why?
These sources are known as relics.
Why?
They're highly illegal and dangerous because they have a ghost in them. And
It's like a new age mail bomb.
Yeah.
but also the people in this black market are very dangerous as well. They're
Yep.
known to like, kill and steal for like
Yep.
profit. These are often these relic men are often former agents who have failed to land on their feet after their talent.
Yeah.
Knowing the trade, knowing how to steal a talent, relic, but not really knowing what else to do.
Okay, so does that mean that they don't know necessarily what's in the relics?
They won't. So what often happens is what we see in the series is we have relic men who take a relic and give it to people to sell it in the black market, and then black market people who are like very rich buyers. Like it's like a trophy, right? It's like something significant to own. It's something like unique to own a piece, you know. And yes, it's very dangerous, but like rich people don't give a shit about the danger, you know.
And you can also just like wrap it in chains or put it
Exactly.
in a
You put it in a glass container and go, that was a ghost, you see?
Okay.
And all the other important adults will be like, sure it is. I'm very impressed by your ghost thing. And maybe this is the thing, they bring kids known as sensitives to like the like black market showing, and they'll be like, come on, your kids will prove that it's thing, and the kids will go up to them and go, nah, that's fucked, that's haunted. To be like, make sure it's real.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because you could just return any object to an adult with a source.
gotcha.
So sounds bad. They'll bring kids to make sure the sources are real.
Yeah. Kids got to check the source.
Yeah, which is not good for the kids because kids just be going, here, kid, look at this haunted thing. I'm like, that's fucked. Ow. You're getting all these haunted ghost shit.
Yeah, rich people be fucked up.
Yeah, that's a lot of this story. Rich will be fucked up. So yeah, that's relic men. Deeprak. We heard a little about Deeprak. So they're the principal actor of the government approaching towards the problem and psychic appearances. Deeprak is supposed to keep the agency in check. However, often the agencies that control actually control Deeprak. Especially Fitz and Rotwell have a lot of pull over what happens around the place. Agencies receive their license from Deeprak and will monitor and take it away if necessary. Deeprak also investigates the black market of relics and tries to hunt down the relic men who sell them.
Nice. Quick pause. I don't know if we covered this and I'm just being dumb or not. Fitz and Rotwell. Aren't those the two that started the original?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So they both went off to form their own agencies.
Yeah, they split off.
Cool,
It was
cool.
I don't know why they split, but they split after about 20.
But they both formed agencies, and those two agencies are now the primary ones.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
They basically had agencies and they kind of didn't want to compete with each other. They were going side by side, and because they were known as the two starters of the whole thing, they became the most famous ones. They also got a head start to everyone else.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, all good. I just don't know if that was something that I knew.
I did mention at the start, but like that's where I did.
Recontextualizing it now that we're more on top of it.
Yeah. So we also have the Night Watch. So this is youth without sufficient talent to become agents, but still with a little bit of talent and wanting to
So
help.
did you say the Night's Watch?
The Night Watch? Yeah, Jon Snow.
We are the watchers on the walls.
Jon Snow. So they're hired to guard corporations and government places overnight. The pay isn't great, nor is the protection.
Oh.
They are given an iron-tipped spear as their only weapon to defend themselves.
Oh, that's
They're basically like, we don't want to leave this place. I can't hire an adult security guard because they might die to ghosts, and we don't want to.
fucking useless.
We don't want to leave the whole building unprotected at night. Someone might be a crazy person. They might sneak in and steal stuff. Let's get a bunch of kids with bloody sticks to help defend the place.
Yeah, makes sense.
metal tipped.
So why would you end up working for this group rather than like a...
You don't have enough talent.
Ah, okay.
So if you don't have enough talent, you have enough talent you have some talent,
But not enough.
not enough to be an
Yeah.
agent.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
you have to be good to be an agent.
Yeah, I see.
That's often the problem. It's a thing of, were you born with enough talent? Nope. Fuck you then.
Because it's also possible for some kids to just not have any talent at all, right? Or is every
I
kid going
believe
to
so.
have some...
I believe so, but it's never said. We never go, this kid has no fucking talent.
Okay.
Funnily enough, we don't focus on those kids a lot in this ghost YA novel series.
Yeah, so but there are like a mention of like, oh, you were born with talent. So like often they're implied by some of the things that there are kids who do not have talent.
Yeah, fair.
It's implied. Also, so small it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
There's also sensitives. I talked a little about other sensitives used by the black market, but there's us sensitives that aren't. So sensitives are kids with psychic talent who refuse to work as agents or night watchmen. These can be many different reasons. They might be pacifist, they may have a positive feeling towards the visitors, or they might be fear, because it's a real chance of fucking death. That really, honestly, that's probably the best reason not to become a fucking
real good reason.
Fuck that shit. They often are used by different companies to detect ghost activity. For example, seeing if a relic is real, or to see if a burial site is haunted. So like a burial company will be like, we'll hire some kids to just check the area.
Keep an eye out on the graveyard in case we're cooking up a hot one.
So basically, if they start to see stuff, run away. You're not there to fight. They're not there to fight, but they're there to tell you.
It's just a warning system.
Go call a real agency.
I'd fucking do that job as long as it pays well.
I've always said this. Like, I know
No job other than agency pays well.
Oh.
I know that they don't pay well, but I stand by like people talking about like, oh, sort out online. What would you do? Would you be on the front lines? It's like I would be a blacksmith. I would sit in my shit. I would make enough money to get by, and I would just cope. I'm not risking my life. I don't care how much extra money you pay me.
There's a joke in the show about either the Night Watch or the Sensitives. I mean, they kind of feel a little bit of the same niche, but Night Watch a little more brave, I guess. Or not, or dumb, either one, what do you want to say? But there's a joke about, like, George says, I keep telling them they should form a union, but they don't listen to me.
Real.
Which I love him for that.
God bless you.
That is great. Cool, so then we have the corporations.
Yahoo!
We have Fairfax Iron. Fairfax Iron is the largest supplier of iron. They had a particular boon after the problem. Take full advantage of it.
Of course they did.
We have United Salt, same as Fairfax, but from salt.
Yep.
We have the Sunrise Corporation, created to provide equipment for fighting ghosts. They create all things from ranges to magnesium bombs to the silver glass cases for ghosts. Basically, they control the entire process of ghost hunting.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure that doesn't get bad at all.
Yeah, imagine that wouldn't be having
I'm sure that these corporations with massive amounts of money have no reason to want the problem to continue.
No, not at all. Not at all. It is known that this corporation has sold particular specialty guns and flares to the Fitz Agency, and some people have been arrested for manipulating the problem.
Nice.
Yeah.
Expected.
So they're not great. Not great. But that's basically the world. So let's step into the truth.
Oh.
I'm going to put a warning here. This is an extra warning. I will put a warning at the start of the episode for spoilers. If you have enjoyed so far and you do not want a spoiler, the TV show probably won't get finished, so TV show's not going to get finished. But if you want to go and read the series, you do want spoilers. It is half mystery knowledge. It's half thriller, half mystery. So if you do not want spoilers for the ending of the books, you can stop listening now. I respect it. Go read them and then come back. I respect that. But if you want the secrets, if you want the true knowledge,
we are law keepers, and we will keep this law.
So, it's time for the whole truth. And nothing but the truth.
This is okay. I'm excited for this because
honestly, what if I want to read the books?
Sorry, you signed up for the wrong podcast. No, we're not doing that the whole fucking time. I'm sorry, Jude. Too bad.
Too bad. So
hit me with
sad.
it. Spank me with that truth, baby.
It's time we go back to the very beginning. All the way back.
What did Marissa do?
To Marissa Fitz.
Hey! I knew she was going to be up to no good.
And when this outbreak began, and I have a quote.
I get to do this one.
No, I get to do this one.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Don't try and grab my tit, you bastard.
I'll do the third one to make it fair.
What?
Get wrecked. You can do this one.
Fuck.
Me?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Jude.
I just...
Well,
I'll do the third one.
What am I doing?
This is adult Marissa Fitz, so an older woman.
I already had my beloved Ezekiel. Since I found him as a child, he has shown me wondrous things. He has guided me in all my works. He led me and Tom Rotwell to experiment with sources. It was his insights that enabled us to first explore the other side.
It turns out that when Marissa Fitz was a young girl, she found a Type 3 spirit named Ezekiel by an ancient grave in Kent. Ezekiel promised to guide Marissa, and soon after, the outbreaks began.
So she started it all.
Oh,
Of course she
yeah.
fucking did. I was literally thinking the whole time, what's the fucking bets that the first two fuckers started this whole shit?
It's kind of like slowly unfurls as
Unveils.
Unfurls is also
Unfurls,
right.
yeah.
anyway.
Unravels is good.
Unravels, just anyone. right?
Unsomething.
It's definitely unsomething. Do you know ravel and unravel mean the same thing? Sorry to get off track. They both mean to unwind something.
That's fair.
It's kind of fun. Anyway,
Do you want to know another fun thing? Jude was very kind with the quote because technically in the thing it
don't
says
fucking say.
he has shown me wonderful thighs.
Wondrous thighs.
I wrote it.
It's so good. No, amen, brother. He's shown me wondrous thighs. Continue along.
I was writing.
I was going to let it slide. I've been harsh.
I could not allow it. I literally in my head was like, is this good enough content for the podcast? And then I realized I didn't care and I was going to do it anyway.
So
Or a scrappy operation here,
this wasn't
baby.
from the wiki. I was reading the book and I typed it in myself. Okay, it was late at night.
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
Anyway, so
That sounded sarcastic. It's all good.
Ezekiel promised Marissa to show her as all unravels by. And Lockwood and Co. Sorry, to continue what I was fucking talking about. Lockwood and Co. kind of find out all this kind of stuff as they go. And they're kind of working it out.
From her or?
They kind of work it out, and then she gives that evil villain speech at the end.
Gotcha.
So, I found him buried in the earth of an ancient grave. He is old, Lucy, and wiser than you'll ever know. He has seen kingdoms rise and fall. He has turned away from death. He rejects it. So that's Ezekiel.
Okay, again, more spoilers, but is Ezekiel the head in the jar?
No.
Okay, cool.
So Ezekiel, we don't know. We have no fucking clue what the origin of Ezekiel, like where he comes from. We barely know anything. But that's all we get. Buried in Kent somewhere, ancient grave. Seen kingdoms rise and fall, hundreds of years old.
Interesting.
Ancient shaman.
So yeah, he basically started this whole thing.
Wow.
I also despise how they spelled Ezekiel, but anyway.
That is how they spell it. Yeah,
I despise that.
I think so.
EXEKIEL.
I've spelled it wrong, which is possible, very possible.
It's all right. I'll double check it while you continue your chat.
Isn't that how Ezekiel is spelled?
No, it's with a Z normally. I have full confidence that that's how Lockwood spells it.
No, it is Ezekiel with a Z.
Oh,
it's all right.
Matt just missed.
Have I misspelled it?
You've misspelled it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Keep moving.
It is with a Z.
It's with an X.
It's with an X. What you've copied across to us.
Well, I clearly wrote that quote wrong, and I've written every other Ezekiel right.
That's fine.
So fuck, I'm my bad.
No, it's
okay.
all good. It was late at night.
Yep,
Research mistakes. That's what we're here for.
Anyway.
We're here. This is the peer review process.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Please, I'm excited.
As they started to hunt ghosts, they were also spreading the outbreak, with Ezekiel teaching Marissa about ghosts on the other side. The other side. What the fuck is that?
Ghost,
good question.
Ghost land.
The other side is the dimension of the deceased superimposed on top of the world of the living. It is sort of like, they call it like a dark London. Even though London's dark enough.
I was going to say.
It is. A lot is unknown about it, but it's theorized that it is some sort of dimension of ghost where they kind of go when people pass on. Some
It's
sort
the
of
ghost dimension.
Some sort of purgatory.
Yeah.
Because they exist there and then pass on to somewhere else as well. So they don't stay here. It's only ghosts that are unhappy with life and that are resolved to stay here. So in the other side, you can see ghosts walking around and as they manifest. So there's a bunch. It's filled with ghosts. The place is deadly cold and with all surfaces covered in sheets of ice. Mist drifts over the empty landscape of silence, the only sounds being made by by living visitors there. There is no wind, no water, no animals. Buildings appear to be warped and cracked, seemingly bent towards you. Iron structures simply don't exist, and flares and rapiers have no effect. Permanent dimness of night exists with no stars and no moon. Thankfully, torches work here. However, they seem to flicker in and out. Time is fluid, with a few hours becoming a day in the real world. Vague black portals exist like doorways all over. ghosts seem to drift towards these around the other side, and they sometimes go through these doorways. It's never known what the fuck happens when you go through a black doorway. It is theorized by one of the characters, maybe as a joke, that when you go to the other side, it goes to another version of London that is golden and glowing with light.
Yay.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's not how ghosts come back, because ghosts come back from sources and from being, okay. That's, yeah, okay.
So it's kind of known as that's them passing on.
You know what? I respect the leaving it empty sometimes. If the characters don't know it, why the fuck should we know it?
Yeah. It is also...
True.
Yeah. Also, sorry, and my last line, I already said it, it's also filled with fucking ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make it
I kind of assumed.
Yeah. So yeah, it is unknown how much Tom knew or when he found out about all this shit, but it is enough that he absolutely knew Marissa was frequently talking to this ghost and kind of pushing this thing. He probably knew they were spreading the outbreak. He probably knew what they were doing. It's kind of implied they were both following, and then eventually he kind of like didn't agree. Well, it said that Marissa discarded them as he didn't have the talent to hear the whole truth, in quotation marks, from Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm. I see. So in other words, he had a conscience.
I mean, the conscience, or she had to tell him, right?
Yeah.
So maybe even like Ezekiel was like manipulating Marissa the whole time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and
that's kind of the vibe.
and kind of like like physically controlling her in some ways.
I mean, I also feel like it's got that sort of Cthulhu vibe of like, you know, I know things you don't, and my mind is corrupted.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely kind of weird.
You can't
shit
hear
like
the truth.
Yeah, you don't get these whispers of like haunting ghost all the time. You know, they can't hear the voices. You know,
Yeah.
kind of shit. After setting up the Fifth Agency, Marissa continued her travels, eventually setting up a gate to the other side.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How? What?
Did she make the gate in London?
So she made a few of them.
Oh, no.
So the first one was in London under the
Nice.
the Fifth Agency.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Yo, hey, whoa. In the basement? Just there?
Yep.
They know?
Yep. Well, it's her agency.
Yeah, I know that, but like, how? Okay.
There's-
No, all good.
Yes, there is a bunch of people who work at these agencies who know that there is they know they're exploring the other side. They do not know that these gates are making the problem worse.
Yeah. From their perspective, it's a know your enemy kind of exploratory thing.
Exactly.
I guess.
We'll get into that a little bit.
That makes sense.
So a gate can be used. A gate can be created by fusing many sources together into a doorway kind of formation. So this is often made. This is originally used in bone glass, which is basically like 7 sources in a panel that's used to make a mirror. But eventually, if you make a big enough thing, you make a doorway.
Oh, that's fun.
So she traveled to the other side using a silver chainmail bodysuit.
Let's go.
So literally a suit of fucking armor.
Nice.
That protects the user from the spirits and the cold. So Marissa, tasked by Ezekiel, set up iron fencing on the other side of the ghost, forcing ghosts to have to stay around, trapping them on the other side, and they can't go through the black portals. This kind of follows your idea that ghosts used to exist and kind of be harmless, and now have become this ghost touch, and now is a problem because
they've trapped, so they become more aggressive.
Yeah, so maybe Ghost and maybe Ezekiel manipulated this to make them more aggressive as well.
I was going to say, because it sounds like the other side originally was almost a space where they could just watch the life of what they left behind move about to sort of monitor it, and therefore like those who are still possessed over like, oh, who my murderer was or what happened there might just be there to view for a while.
And then
but the moment
on.
that they have access, then it becomes this like aggressive thing because they can actually do something. Whereas if the other side is just this like viewing area, it's more just like a way to sort of give them a little bit of resolution.
And they can pass on properly when they want to. Whereas setting up these barriers, this iron fence, which iron had to be transported in here, kind of traps them on the other side, meaning they cannot pass on.
Yeah.
They are forced to be ghosts. And probably making them fucking angry as well. Probably.
Yes.
So yeah. So basically, this is what continued the problem and what makes it worse. So Mr. traveled around in England, setting up gates in different places, spreading the problem and making it worse. So making the agencies more important, making the corporations needed, spreading this fucking issue, right?
Oh, there's one under the fucking iron factory, isn't there?
We don't know of another one in England, I don't believe.
God damn it.
Do we know one that Rotwell Company's involved with experiments out in Chelsea, I believe. Fucking
Okay.
Chelsea, man.
Wait, so Rotwell, while disagreeing with Fitz, is still like
So we'll see.
Perpetrating it.
We'll see in a second. I'll explain.
Sure.
But of course, she couldn't do this all on her own, as we said. So she started the Orpheus Society. Orpheus is a group of rich individuals trying to learn more about the problem. They share a goal, with Marissa unwittingly keeping much from the group, of trying to subdue ghosts and use the ectoplasm to gain immortality and maybe even bring people back from the dead. The goal is basically to win against death. So Marissa wrote down things in her old book about things that maybe use the ectoplasm to make life be longer, extend their life. And they all kind of went, oh, that's a great idea. Let's extend our life. So the group is a secret from the public, along with the technology they have. So they have secret technology as well. Their symbol is a lyre in reference to the Greek legend Orpheus. I don't know if you know the Greek legend of Orpheus, where basically he went down to hell to get his wife out.
Yes, I do.
And he had to carry his wife out and not look back. I think it's not.
No,
she was following him.
She was following him.
She was following him and he can't look back. So something like that. Yeah.
It's such a good story, by the way. Orpheus goes hard.
Yeah. It is unknown who exactly are members of this group, but it is known that Marissa is the leader. We know John Fairfax is in this group, so he's the head of the Iron Company. And we know that Steve Rotwell was members, so that is Tom Rotwell's son.
I see.
So we know it's Tom Rotwell's son. We do not know if Tom Rotwell is assumed he probably was.
Yeah.
But maybe there was a big disagreement, and but she approached his son saying, "Join us." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once he took over.
So Tom Rotwell dies, but Marissa is still alive.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So at this point, Marissa's still this is young times. It's still 10 years after the problem started.
Yeah.
So Marissa's still young. We don't know exactly who. We probably know that people in all these big corporations are probably part of this group.
Yeah.
And probably people in the government. So that's why all this shit's still happening.
It's a conspiracy, I tell ya. Everyone in the government's all the big corporations.
Oh, yeah.
This is turning into some fucking Alex Jones shit.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's basically the Illuminati.
Hell yeah. It's the ghost Illuminati. Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry, that sentence. I think my brain just busted a nut at that sentence.
They are the ghost Illuminati.
I don't think your brain's. I think that's called having a stroke.
Hey, man.
Yo, not live on air.
Live on air. Stroke live on air. Catch my Twitch.
Their task.
Get it? I'm stroking him.
Okay, he is stroking him in the fact that he is touching his head and giving him a pat. That's such a visual joke for an audio medium. What have I told you about visual jokes in audio medium?
They're for our patrons.
We started with the problem of doing it accidentally, and then we got better at it, and now we're back to doing it again because there's a camera pointed at it.
They are tasked with investigating everything they can about ghosts and controlling the whole system from start to finish indefinitely. Especially with Fitz owning the furnaces, which means if they find an interesting source,
they just keep it, right?
They don't burn it. They burn it in quotation marks. They tell everyone they burned it, and they keep it for themselves and experiment on it.
Of course they do. Why else would? Makes sense.
How do you think they got the sources to make the gates?
Yep.
They just took the sources. You're giving them to them.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I was considering that. I was like, damn, you have to pick a real hodgepodge. This is a weird looking gate. But no, they can just pick the most structurally sound sources. It's like, oh, a brick.
You also can melt down the surface. They've known to melt down sources into the forms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if it's like a metal or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Again, you probably can structure something into other. But then I don't know.
I mean, look at the catacombs. You can make a fucking wall out of skulls.
Exactly, right? That kind of thing, yeah. They learn that Polynesian shamans have been opening similar gates and use that knowledge to create a sort of armor to go there. So that's where they got the knowledge to make the armor to go through these portals as well. It's also known that they had technologies like crystal goggles made from bone glass, so glass made from sources.
Yeah.
That allows the user of the goggles to see ghosts even without talent.
So an adult could see.
Yes.
That would be fucking revolutionary.
But why would they share it with the public?
They want
That's
the
for them.
agencies to keep power. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, let me throw this is like the most distilled version of capitalism I've ever heard of in my life. Oh man.
YA, baby.
Let's go YA.
Let's go YA. Yeah. Marissa, slowly taking control of the problem in the country, had been aged from her trips to the other side. Going to the other side takes away from your life force and ages you sooner. What's she going to do? She's dying. She's still young. She's dying. What's she going to do? On her deathbed, accompanied by her young granddaughter, Penelope, she's not too young, but she has a granddaughter. She refused to die, and through sheer will, and used what Ezekiel had taught her to move her soul into Penelope's body.
Oh.
Getting rid of Penelope's soul in the process, killing her soul.
Oh, so she just body snatches her granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
And not even just like body snatches. It's, you say just like removes her soul. Is she gone to the other side, or is she just gone?
The quote is, I killed her soul, not her body. It's not murder. Basically, that's basically what she said. I didn't kill anyone. I just killed her soul.
Yeah.
That soul's gone. Rest in peace.
Well, no, she won't be resting in peace.
Rest in nothing.
Yeah. Turns out
hell.
that ectoplasm can't be used to keep a body young, but it can be used to keep a spirit strong with the power of youth. So this means with ectoplasm she got from the other side, she can keep her talents long after she ages out of it.
Right.
As well, she can use this ectoplasm to make her spirit so strong she can push Penelope's spirit outside her body and possess her body. Basically becoming like a living ghost.
Yeah, that's
in a weird way. After 3 years of growing up in Marissa's body, so basically it's assumed she was probably about 15, because she was still a child. She after growing up 3 years, she took control of the company, kind of killing her daughter / mother.
Yeah, right.
She says she arranged for her removal.
Right.
Which kind of implies she got her killed or Ezekiel killed her.
Yeah.
Because those 3 years, she apparently wasn't doing the company very good in those 3 years.
Ezekiel definitely killed her.
She managed to arrange for her body to be kept from burial, as it is now her source. And if that thing is, she acts like a ghost now.
Okay. She cooks. I see it.
So now in her granddaughter's body, she is still living as Marissa, keeping this thing going. Because capitalism can never die.
Yeah, man.
The problem would only get worse as they.
I love it when Matt has to reread one of his sentences like 3
as
times because he typed it at 2 a.m.
As they use their control to experiment on these sources, to continue their experiments. So this caused multiple outbreaks going on when they made like a gate goes wrong, or they upright a new thing, travel to the other side. Like basically, like a lot of people are dying. A lot of the ghosts are happening because of their experiments. These groups also solidified their hold on power with the problem getting worse. The government leaned on the agency and the corporations. At the death of Steve Rotwell, the son of Tom, Fitz absorbs the agency, along with absorbing and destroying a bunch of minor agencies across London, eventually becoming 3/4 of the agents in London, monopolizing the agents.
The dream.
That's the capital dream. Create demand, take monopoly. That's it.
Control of the problem is basically in Marissa's hand. Even Deepak can't touch her, with a lot of the top people in Deepak being in Marissa's pockets.
Naturally.
So the one guy we see at Deepak, like the detective, like we see, like, and we like get to know who's like there. He's basically like, it's out of my hands. I can't do shit. I think his name's Barnes. But basically, like, I can't help because my bosses are telling me not to.
Yeah.
Lucy of Lockwood and Co. Had been noticed as she could too speak to Type 3s, having found one and met one, the skull in the silver jar. Lockwood and Co. had been investigating Marissa and become suspicious. Eventually, Lucy kind of confronts Marissa, and Marissa asks her to join her and become a partner, as someone else, finally a true partner, could hear what hear the whole truth. Marissa, Ezekiel not so keen, because he's like, she's an asshole, she's stubborn, she won't join us, and Marissa was really trying to get her to join.
Marissa just wants a friend.
Yeah, basically. Lucy rejects her and challenged her, but even Lockwood and Lucy were no match for Marissa and Ezekiel. This is that kind of thing. Ezekiel is the Type 3. You can't fight a Type 3, basically.
Marissa, I know, oh no, it's hereditary. Sorry, I was going to call out the fact that Marissa shouldn't be able to hear as well in this body, but
it's not about the body, it's about the spirit.
is it? Oh, okay.
Because her spirit, that's very strong. She's an adult.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have talent right now, but she can still talk to Ezekiel. She can still see Ezekiel.
She's kept her talent.
Because she kept her talent because she absorbed ectoplasm.
Okay, gotcha. And she's also got the alternative methods of like the bone glass. I'm sure they figured out some other bullshit.
Yeah.
So, okay, gotcha.
So from absorbing ectoplasm constantly, she's making her soul stronger.
My assumed solution there was that it is a biological thing, but then when she switches into her granddaughter just has the same.
I mean, that also is true, but it is seen that like it's her soul that is it.
Okay, cool.
There's one point she can even separates her soul like from her body at one point.
Jesus, cool.
Yeah.
It's cool as fuck, to be honest. Hey, if she wasn't such an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
In a last-ditch effort, Lucy releases the skull from the glass chamber. The gates of the skull had been like threatening and asking to kill them a bunch of times, but also got to know them over like the last few years.
Desperate times.
Yeah, you know. Basically, you're gonna die. The skull was like, fuck it, why not? Legit.
Yeah.
And effortlessly matched and overpowered Ezekiel. Ezekiel, who was hundreds of years old, right? We don't know thing, but it was like child's play for the skull. Even it being a much younger ghost of only about 100 years. It's really unknown why the fuck there's the power difference here, what the devils is. It's like, eventually, like, they kind of dismiss the skull as a shade, but when Lucy threatens to like take the lid off, and Marissa's like, it's just you'll be fine, Ezekiel, you can take it. And Ezekiel's like, senses something, he's like, nah, man, that thing's worse than I think it is. Like, wait, let's not do that.
Nice.
But like, and then when the skull comes out, it's basically like, bitch boy.
Nice. We don't know origins for either of these, right?
We know, okay. So we know the origin of the skull. We do not know the origin of Ezekiel. The origin of the skull was he was a young boy in Victorian times who was who worked under a master who was made the first bone glass. He was like very manipulated with a bunch of these forces. So maybe something about that, how he died. I think he was like killed to become a source for his master or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, because I can imagine like Ezekiel just going off the vibe of like he's probably just like an ancient shaman of some sort, probably died in some sort of ritual, and that might have powered him up to level 3. What the fuck is it called?
3.
Type 3. That's the one.
It's seen that he rejects death. So like I think the more you do not want to die, the more you want to be on the plane of this plane of existence, the more and like the skull is like really bored. He's like, I don't want to die. I just want to talk to people. I don't want to fucking. This is way cooler.
Yeah,
fair.
That's
maybe it's just cool ratting.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't really give an explanation why the skull's so powerful.
I got 3 words for you, baby. It's Deus Ex Machina.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But we get the Deus Ex Machina consequence. However, Marissa pulls out a powerful magnesium bomb that she says will level the block.
Nice.
And the skull says, oh, for fuck's sake, and throws Lucy and Lockwood out the window, protecting them. But Lucy forgets to grab the skull on the table, and the place explodes.
The skull gets destroyed?
With the skull inside.
No! My skull! So a super powerful skull that could bitch slap another Type 3, and he just gets destroyed by the bomb.
You pull out a fucking bomb on him, like we can't move his source.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
hey, I don't care if you're the greatest warrior in the world. If I drop you into a vat of sulfuric acid, you're not coming out.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
you don't know how high my con is if I'm the greatest fighter of all time.
Actually, there's a full scene of that in
Critical Role.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yep.
Grog diving into the acid.
Yep, and he just all it does is expose his dong.
Absolutely.
In the
That's
end,
what it should have done for the skull. Just expose his dog.
for fuck's sake. In the end, Marissa was revealed as a traitor to the public, and all the truth came out. Deeprak would gain control of the Fitz agencies and basically create like a government agency after that. Be like, we're going to monitor this from now on. Fuck your private agencies.
I'm sure that's going to be so much better in the long run.
Yeah, we don't really get into that. Again, we still follow Lockwood and Co, which is a private agency.
Yep.
Independent agency. Deeprak also will send people through the gates into the other side to remove the fencing to allow Ghost to pass on.
Nice.
However, even with doing so, the problem is not gone. It is believed that hopefully, with no one messing with the other side, the gates will eventually close and the problem will soon heal and fade away. But this is not known. And in the meantime, we are officially opening Living by the Law Agency. Here to hunt down ghosts. Us three.
Hell yeah.
We're going to get rapiers. We're going to fucking go hunt down some ghosts.
Hey, I'm in
Fuck
for the
yeah.
rapiers. I will say, I do pose a quick question to you boys. Touch, sight, and hearing. I mean, obvious hearing shoe-in, unfortunately.
I'm afraid I probably
Sorry to
am,
box in
yeah,
the musician.
yeah.
But sight versus touch. You got the touch?
I'm a touch man.
You're a touch man. I guess I've
That
got...
sounds really bad, but
got
like
the
I
eyes.
can't be sight. I
That's
have
true,
glasses.
wearing glasses.
I was gonna say,
it all works
I have-
itself
We
out.
literally
Terrible sight.
made jokes in the past about of all the five senses.
Yeah.
Matt must have good touch
'Cause I have-
he can't smell. He
I can't hear. I'm
can't
deaf.
hear.
I can't see. So I must have really. I can't smell.
Yep.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
I
Taste.
Must be,
I mean,
a
technically,
taste.
there's also
Oh,
a sense of gravity, but that's...
Shut the fuck up, nerd. My taste is terrible because my nose is fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I must have really fucking good touch.
Yeah.
Good touch. You
Yeah.
got that good touch.
I'm really in touch with the flow. You know.
All right. Listener,
Yep.
touch man.
Touchy man.
And the looker.
See ya.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
We call them eyeballs.
We call him eyeballs.
Oh god. Okay,
Fuck yeah.
so
Good to sort that out.
that's Lockwood and Co.
Let's fucking go.
Law and Co.
Law and Co. That's fucking good. Lawwood and Co.
Yeah.
I got wood. It's law.
And I've got Co.
Sure. You are Co.
I'm Co.
So what do you think, boys?
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I've always, I liked Lockwood and Co. from a casual observer point of view. But I've only watched the first season of this TV series, the only TV series season they have, and the first book I read. So it's good to have like a full deep dive. I think that's one of the nice things about doing these episodes. Is it really consolidates the knowledge on it, and I think this has been very good.
It can also be like that little thing nagging at the back of your mind. Oh, that was really nice. I really enjoyed that when I was a kid. And you like finally put it to rest and like never have to touch it again.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know, you finally know everything about it and you can put it to bed.
Yeah, me chasing the fucking Call of Duty zombies Easter egg things and like trying to figure out what the fuck the videos were about, and then I'm like, I'm going to research this. Worst decision. But like, yeah, it's nice to wrap the whole thing up in a bow. It's a fun. I do like that it kind of just leans into the traditional ghost solving things, because a lot of IPs will try and do like weird shit, but this one just goes hard into it and just like pushes it out into the modern world. And I think that that's a fun angle to take.
But it also doesn't like too modern. It keeps it in like an era as well. Which I like.
It's nice. It's got its niche well carved, and I like a well defined, neat carved.
Yeah. So if you also enjoyed this Lockwood and Co. in this episode, you would rate us on anywhere you find your podcast, Spotify or iTunes or anywhere else. And the number of stars you give us is the number of ghosts you can fight with your rapier off at once.
The number of stars you give us are a combined score of your ghost hunting level and your returning Spectre class.
So you're a type 1 class.
Yeah, you can be a type 1 and a level 4.
Or you can be a type 2 and level 3.
Yeah, correct. You got to choose. I'm not.
You can't be 6.
I can't give you. You can't get top scores in both of them. Or
No,
you're
yeah.
the main character. Shut up. Give 5 stars.
The number of stars that you give us is the number of agents in your private agency.
Yahoo!
That's a nice little agency.
That's a great little agency.
That's a refined. That's how many friends you have. Yeah. Get from friends. Get some friends, kids.
Get some friends. A
And
star
if
is
you
a
have
friend.
some friends, get them to listen to this podcast
Yeah.
if you think that they would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed us discussing the weird, wonderful little world of this story, have a listen to... I got to think these ones out
If you
before I
like
start them.
if you like the horror of this, we have a Halloween episode where we talk some like spookiness over different types of fiction.
We did, yeah,
That's a great old episode to listen to.
Yeah.
I believe it's might still be called Horror in Fiction. So go have a listen to that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But please, the best thing you do is share with your friends. But if you want to keep up with the podcast, you can follow on iTunes, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you find your podcast.
Spotify.
I mean, yeah, that's
YouTube.
Leave a comment down below on Spotify. That's a new
Yeah.
thing. Or like.
That sounds so funky,
It's
dude.
so weird.
Yeah.
We will reply to you. We'll talk to you. Join our Discord where we talk with the
Chat.
community and chat. We also have announcements on there as well.
And the last thing I'll say, because I thought of another one.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed the touch of England in this, then go listen to our Merlin episode.
Yeah.
where we talk about
Absolutely.
Arthurian legend and its roots in, BBC's Merlin and its roots in Arthurian legend and English history.
That's a great episode
Delicious.
too.
A
Yes.
really good one.
Yeah.
That
And a bit
fucking-
spooky magic as well.
Yeah,
spooky.
and if you really want to give back to this brilliant podcast, you want to give us something.
Sorry, brilliant
Nearly.
podcast.
He cut himself
Couldn't
off.
get
He
it
cut
out.
himself off.
You can become a law keeper today at patreon.com /livingbylaw and join our brilliant law keepers like Luke Newcomb, our high law keeper. We have...
We did do the name shout out at some.
I'm doing it again.
Okay, cool.
Hell yeah, they deserve it.
Josh from Maine and Shadow as Peace Law Keepers, Jacob from Norway, Mike Grain, Tiani Wilson, and Uranian Games, our novice law keepers. Just want to do a quick. You get minisodes, you get scripts, you get visual views, you get all of this shit. We love it. Thank you for joining us.
Kisses.
And time to drift off to bed with the ghostly howls of your neighbors haunting your dreams. Good night.
And when you wake up to the ghost touch on your nether regions, you can whisper, "Good morning."
What?
And when you arrive to the courthouse in the afternoon to get that motherfucker for sexual
As you
assault,
should.
you can say goodbye to him as he heads off to jail and good afternoon.
Yep. Sorry, I had to go there.
No, I appreciate it. It gave me a clean dismount to work on.
Yep. I will always give
So
you
if
a clean dismount, guy.
If you died right now, what would be your source?
The Balrog.
The Balrog on the set.
Your heart and soul in that motherfucking model.
If I died right now, I think this is gonna sound dumb. I think it would either be the chair that I sit in at my computer if I was at home.
Yeah.
Because I sit in that chair way too
Well, you
much.
said right now. But
Right, if right now there was a ring I wear, I got in Japan. It's my
Very
favorite
cool.
ring.
I've got a bad news for you guys. I think that a lot of people would end up with their phone being their source.
100%. Yeah.
So many fucking people.
Oh my god, the modern day is just everyone's fucking destroy all the phones. Burn the phones.
Literally.
Burn the phones.
Heart and soul in that shit.
Thank you for listening to Living by the Law. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave a review, tell your friends, and if you're feeling extra generous, become an official law keeper by joining our Patreon today. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Living by the Law. All links are in the description, and thank you in advance. We have been, and always will be, living by the law. Thank you for your company, and good night.